Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Are you ready to bish? Are you ready to bash? Are you ready to bosh? Are you? You ready to bosh? Because you're in for trouble if you're not. We are back here. Oh my god, there's people subscribing. Wait, I think if I go to the desk. We are back here with some more bish, bash, bosh. I don't know if those alerts are going to come through. They're on the screen, though. Shabby, thank you for the 9 months on YouTube and 22 months on Twitch. That is crazy. Sprinkles as well, 7 months on Twitch. Hell yeah, both with Prime. Giving Jeff Bezos all your money. Lovely stuff. We are back here. A little bit of Wreckfest for you once again. Those of you who've seen Bish Bash Bosh before, you know what's about to happen. You know what you're about to see. Those of you new to the competition, we are here to find... Hello. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. And we're in the hype train. Hell yeah. Also, I should read out on Shabby's resub, he wrote penis. So thank you for that one, Shabby. And the same on YouTube, the same message. So
do a barrel roll.
For fuck's sake. I'm trying to introduce the event, everybody. Just let me introduce the event. I have to take the headphones off. Right, so sorry for the lateness. I am in the process of moving house. If I wound down this screen, I mean, you wouldn't see much because it's just like an empty side of the room now, but I've been going back and forth to the dump today, so mistimed it slightly. It's all good. We are here, though. We are here to see the very best of the best. And when I say best, I mean some people who were available in the Discord. Battle it out in Wreckfest 1.
Hello.
Your account skill. With the 3 months Prime.
Yes.
Thank you. Very cool. We are here to see the very best of the drivers who are available. Battle it out in Wreckfest to see the ultimate driver, the ultimate bisher, the ultimate basher, the ultimate bosher, perhaps. Exciting news for you all. Well, maybe exciting news for you all. We have no winners returning to the competition today, which means we are guaranteed a new champion in Bish Bash Bosh. As always, our drivers today are competing for a prize. There is not only eternal glory and the Discord roll, but of course...
Do a barrel roll.
I've just transitioned to the other screen. Of course... the Mr. V merchandise of your choice, sampled here, the medium speed corners t-shirt. I should say, Ads Robin from last time, if you're watching, I messaged you and you never said which piece of merch you want, so it's still waiting for you. For those of you new to the event, the rules here today, we're not going to have any teams. This is a every driver for themselves event. No wrong way driving, but you can stop and try and pit people out that way. You just can't get a bus and go the wrong way round, because that's a dick move. And then obviously it's class-based, based on the randomizer, which we'll see in just a second. We have somewhere in between like 25 to 30 drivers, maybe slightly less actually, but we have 2 heats of drivers. Both heats, the top 10 after 3 races will be progressing to the quarterfinals. Both heats will have the same set of 3 races and car combos. The quarterfinals then is 1 map and car combo, which goes on repeat for 12 minutes of driving. We have a timer on screen. We run it once. You get points for the winner, 35 points for the win, 30 for second, etc., etc. If there's still time on the clock when that ends, we run it again. Bit of an interesting strategy element for you there. 12 minutes for the quarterfinals. Then we move on to the semis with 15 drivers, so 5 getting knocked out. Another 12 minutes, and then the finals are top 10 drivers with 15 minutes on the clock to see the very best of the very best. And that's pretty much it. That's how the event works, and then people drive around and they crash into each other and stuff, so yeah. So it's great. We had some stuff come through while I was doing that. There is a barrel roll, so I will just appease you now. Oh god, there's green screen there. Oh, what was that? Muesli Gamer with a 3 months on Twitch, thank you very much. And Ratboy Psych. It's always good to have some Rat Boy representation with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. So, we have drivers loaded up in the server for Heat 1. I believe most of them are there. But we need to find out what tracks and cars they're going to be using for this event. And so, of course, we head to the randomizer. As of everything else on this channel, it is in Excel. Of course, it's in Excel. Where can I join the Discord? On Twitch, it's in one of the panels down below. And on YouTube, it is in the description of this very stream. And also Stream Elements has a little link for you in chat. Any of those is a great option. Do you have to be in the Discord? The sign-up sheets are in the Discord. You can't sign up now, but the next event will be in 2 to 3 weeks' time, so you can sign up for that one. All right. So, when we hit the BOSH button, Excel shall decide our tracks for today. We've had a couple tweaks of lap counts, but it's pretty much as last time.
Hello.
Let's bish bash and barrel roll some cars.
I firmly agree. Needs life. I firmly agree. Thank you for the 4 months on Twitch. How the hell do you randomize an Excel? Guys, multiple different ways. I should not be going through my secrets here today, but just literally type equals rand. Go from there. You should know this. This is Excel 101. This stream is not Excel 101. That would be far too exciting for your little brains to comprehend. Anyway, when I hit the BOSH button, we shall start to get our tracks. You ready? Heat's going to be starting with 10 laps on Kingston Raceway, figure 8 in Class B, normal damage. We then have 6 laps on the Dirt Devils Stadium Speedway in Class B, normal damage. 8 laps on Tri-Bend Speedway to end the heats in Class C with normal damage. Then the quarterfinals. 6 laps on the Tri-Bend Speedway in the school bus. Normal damage. 3 laps on Pine Hills Reverse in the Killer Bee. Normal damage. That's going to be carnage. And then finally, 4 laps Pine Hills Raceway Short in the Star Beast. Normal damage. The final is always normal damage, but thank you. But we have to display it. I'm actually just going to take a picture of that because I can't be asked to write it down. Much easier this way. Gotta work smarter, not harder.
Medium speed corners. Medium speed corners.
So we have our tracks. We have some of our races. We need to do a little quick count in the server to check that everyone's here. And then I think we're pretty much ready to go as I head back to the desk. Everybody excited? Everybody? You raring to see who we have? We have some familiar faces returning. I have to break it to you guys. Some fan favorites are not here, particularly Ranch. It's a great shame, I know, but Ranch is not here. But some familiar faces returning, some people you may recognize. But as I said, no return winners, which means we are going to have a new winner in Bish Bash Bosh here today. And let me just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 people. It looks like the right names. It looks like the right names to me. I think we're ready to go for Heat 1, everybody. And so, as we get loaded up onto the first track, which I've immediately forgotten what it was. 10 laps. Kingston. Figure 8. It's a hell of a way to start. It's a hell of a way to start. We shall give our drivers just a minute to choose a car, because it is Class B, so they can go anything they want. And then we'll get to this. We'll head over into the game service. You can see some of the names here in Heat 1. Heats are determined just alphabetically, and so people get randomly mixed between the two. So, you know, some people Heat 1 last time, some people Heat 2 last time. Some claims that Heat 2 was stacked and way more difficult last time. fully don't care, mate. That's how randomization works. Cry more. So let's head on over into the server. Let's see some of the names. So.
Hello.
Music Gamer. That was a while ago. Don't know why that just came up now.
Hello.
Oh, God. We're getting all the notifications again. Heat 2 is still stacked? Yeah, just how it goes.
Hello.
Oh, God.
Bish bash and barrel roll some cars.
Some of you are going to get double notifications, so congrats to you. So, we got some names we recognize. Of course, Cube, familiar face from the very first Bish Bash Bosh. Atlantic Puffin, who I want to say had a pretty good run last time. We got Ko, it's been a finalist a couple times. Got PTXT, a name I recognize. We have Pishel back, I remember from last time, but some new names I want to say. I believe Stonks is brand new to the world of Bish Bash Bosh. Maddie as well. Very sorry if anyone has been in before and I forgot, but I'm merely a stupid human man, so that's how it goes. But yeah, some new faces here. It's going to be interesting. Got everyone choosing a Class B. I see a couple different Rammer RSs, 3 or 4 of those even. A trophy runner down at the bottom. We've got one person in a loaner car even, which is an interesting way to do it. It looks like almost everybody's ready. A couple of people still picking, so we'll give them just a second. And then let's start this thing off. Figure 8 is a very interesting way to start this. Do we go aggressive or do people go racy? Do they go cautious or are they going balls to the wall? I don't mind having my balls on the wall personally. It cradles them nicely. Okay. People changing cars. We're gonna have to lock them in. You need to get this thing going. And so, Bish Bash Bosh 4 begins now. We start with a random camera angle. Let's see what it gives us. And immediately, Ko getting off the line well from a front row start, but Hikia up the inside. We've got Jonah. And it's getting frisky already. This is a tiny figure 8. We're going to jump to a free cam because this is going to be carnage. Lord Strategist having a real bad time on lap 1. Down the back, but things can change because, you know, people are going to get wrecked out here. People are going to find themselves in the walls. That's just the beauty of this. Hikia taking an early lead, it seems, ahead of Ko, but immediately this group is looking feisty, and that is a big hit. And Lord Strategist, who was already down at the back of the pack, comes off worse from that collision. It has dropped, though. Both Ko and Hikia down, and let Vite? I have no idea. Mr. Eki get up there with the front, and Jonah as well. Jonas, should I say. Matrix and Pete patting out behind. It's very close at the front here. A lot of points on offer. So it's all points based. 35 for a win, 30 for second, 25 for third. And then the gaps start decreasing. And then the 10 drivers with the most points off these 3 races is going through. And so you really want to maximize these points. A win in the first race of the heats could mean you're safe going through straight away. And so you got to make it count because you never know when you might get crashed out, spun out of one of the later races, and Hikia gets spun out there and dropped from the front row down to 6th. The pack is bunched up. Lord Strategist, I believe, is a lap down there trying to unlap themselves. And that is tough to do. Really having to hope that some other people have a bad time in the middle. But Ko certainly is having a bad time from the front. This race now stuck on the bollard. There's a 3-second delay if you want to reset. And that drops you way down into 6th again. Christ, and so our leader now, Jonas actually is in the lead, ahead of Vite Eki, ahead of Pete. More collisions up the middle. Maddie has gone for a limo, which, style points, yes, but it's got a very long cross-section, which is maybe not ideal when there's people coming at you side on. So once again... My God, Maddie. Jesus Christ. And who is that? Puffin gets spun around halfway, right on the center of the figure eight, and that is just guaranteed to be a collision with the strategist mounting the boot of that car. If you ever wondered how new vehicles are made, we're learning new things every day. And so actually, where is our leader? Where is our leader? There, Jonas. That is our P1. Currently, I want to say on lap 8, but it depends how far ahead of Co they are, because we're technically seeing Co's data here. So yeah, Jonas is actually on lap 9, doing quite well, just to avoid collisions in the middle. Maddie there, the limo again is such a big target, getting spun out. And actually though, Jonas gets slowed down by that collision, lets Mr. Eki way up through, and this is a battle for P1. Pete as well takes P2. Eki up the inside. They're on the final lap. Jonas gets away slightly clean. Do they go over the middle? No! Slow down! I mean, Frito gets absolutely boned by that, but it slows down Jonas. Pete, technically P1. I don't know where the line is. I think it's somewhere here. Who is going to win this? Pete wins it! Mr. Eki second, Jonas third, Co then Hikia. We've got Matrix coming over the line. Some of these cars are a lap down. Stonks takes a P7. Stonks, who was there mid-pack the whole time, but survives well until the end. And then we've got some of our people a bit further down. Some victims of collisions. Pischelbach gets overtaken at the line. Means they're P9 behind Cube. Strategist is actually DNF somewhere at the back there. Too many collisions. We've got Puffin in 11, Maddie... Puffin in 10, Maddie in 11. Frito is going to take P12 as they're the last runner on the road, but they are ahead of the strategist. And so, what a way to start this heat. Overtakes for the lead on the last lap. We've had a DNF despite the fact we're only on normal damage. And a mixed up grid. PXD, one of our returning names, takes the win there. But Mr. Eki almost took a maiden win in their very first Bish Bash Bosh race. It wasn't to be, but P2 is still a very, very good finish. Okay, we are gonna head back to the desk. I just need to put our new event in here, but my God. I might need to set it so we always start for figure eight. That was good. Next up, we are going to Dirt Devil Stadium Speedway, which I hope is in alphabetical order, but some of them aren't, so they can be hard to find. Dirt Devil, Dirt Speedway, 6 laps there. That's going to be normal damage again, and Class B again. So, we'll head over, give our drivers another second just to see if they want to change cars. And then we'll get this thing rolling. Oh, sorry, I'm drinking a Monster Ultra, but maybe I've had too many. Trying to move house and you just need the energy, right? Also discovered, guys, in the Monster front, I don't know if it's new, but I've recently discovered the wonders of Monster Ultra Strawberry. It's called like Strawberry Dream or something like that. Oh my God. It's so good. I didn't think I had an addictive personality, and then I tried that shit and I was like, right, I understand what meth addicts are doing. It's so nice. Pischelbach done dirty at the end there. That is Bish Bash Bosh. You know, it's full contact racing. It's heartbreaking sometimes. You can be in a collision lap 1, you can be in a collision final lap. Sometimes it just doesn't go in your favor, that very last crossover. And so yeah, that did look tough though. That did look tough, meaning Pischelbach, they still finish, you know, they're in the top 10. If you want to get a playoff berth, as long as you're always in the top 10, you're doing pretty well. And so they're still on target to get through to quarterfinals. Should be okay. Just got in. Is V talking about Grace? Not yet. No, we'll save that for later. We haven't forgotten to that just yet. It's only the heats. What game is this? We are playing Wreckfest 1. Obviously, Wreckfest 2 has come out in early access a couple months ago. It doesn't have that much content in it though, so we are in Wreckfest 1. This might transition to Wreckfest 2 if we're still doing this in like a year's time, but Wreckfest 1 for now. Fantastic game. Cannot recommend enough. Okay, our drivers have had quite a lot of time, so we're going to head back over to the lobby. Start this second race off. So, going the free cam. I do like the Dirt Devil. We have reverse grids here, which means Lord Strategist starting on P1 with Frito alongside him. Frito getting pit maneuvered into the tires, which are not as soft as you might think. Those things are made of concrete. Puffin getting dropped into the infield. Hikia having a bad time. Went for the monster truck. The monster truck gambit is a bold move, and it did not pay off. Mr. Eki as well spun out on the first lap, which means Stonks and Co are currently leading this thing. You have to be careful here in the Dirt Devil. Obviously, you want to take as much speed as possible, but it is tough. There's jumps to navigate, crossovers, one wrong move, and you can find yourself flung into one of these lampposts, into the walls, into the infield. This is a treacherous track. A true test of I don't even know what to call it, but just your avoidance ability to stay out of trouble, basically. Stonks taking the right-hand side line. Very, very high jump then, landing on the nose, which has left Co free to take P1 by a huge margin. And Maddie actually still rocking the limo. It didn't go great last time, but Maddie, you know, is committed to this limo, and it's working out pretty well. That's a P2 with a huge gap behind. Stonks still in P3 after that nosedive. Has got good speed in this thing. See if they can catch up on the podium, but they want more. Cube gets spun again, dropped again. That's P10, P11. That's not a good place to be, is it? A big pack in the middle, which we're going to stay with. There is bustle. There is action here. Ikea has recovered. Jumping over Pete. Love to see it. Multiple cars getting involved now. The strategist nosediving again. Frito coming in, finding lots of parked cars in the middle of the road. We love the carnage. See if we can follow along with these guys. My drone camera is a bit faster than these cars, annoyingly, as they're coming out the corners. Oh god! Oh hello! I didn't realise we've got track marshals. Oh, I had no idea. Anyway, what we've got up front, Co is like a third of the track in the lead. This is looking like a win. We're doing 6 laps here. Co already on lap 5, I want to say. Maddie crossing over the line there, still in P2. Pete XD in P3, which means Stonks has dropped down again. Stonks now in P10. I think he had a big crash somewhere. So yeah, Pete promoted up. Pete, who had that win in the first race, a third in the second race as it currently stands, is a big haul of points. I think you can safely say that Pete is through with that one. Jonas as well did well in the first race. What are we going on? I think actually let's go on board. Let's change camera. Let's go on board with Co. Oh my god, if I could remember. Let's go on board with Co. As they're on the final lap, just to get an idea of the track here. So this is the third of the 3 stretches where there is this crossover. Can be a tricky one to navigate, particularly when there's other cars in the way, because you can do everything cleanly and then someone just lands on top of you. So not that easy. And Co does cross the line P1. Let's just turn around here. See the others. Pishel back a lap down. Cube a lap down. Maddie in the limo. He's going to get P2. Pete not far behind in P3. Jonas taking P4. Very good points. Ikea with a monster truck recovery. Lovely stuff. And the Puffin, P6. Frito, strategist, going to take P8. Stonks, who was up in P3 for quite a while. Didn't see what happened there, but that is going to be disappointing for Stonks. Mr. Eki takes P10 there. Matrix P11. Cube is going to get P12. And I think Pishelback, who has crashed into the infield again, might be getting timed out here with only 15 seconds left. Let's see if they can take the line. It doesn't actually make any difference. They'll still get their points. Fighting with traffic to get over the line does still make it. What's the safety car percentage? Oh, we're running on a solid 0, and we're looking to keep it that way. That's how we like it. This is the site of the infamous Bish Bash Bosh Zero finale. It is indeed. It is indeed. Obviously, Outfox lost it here with a disconnect. Heartbreak for Outfox. We've had Dirt Devil a few times. I like it. I think it's good for Bish Bash Bosh. It's a tough one though. It's a very tough one to get right. Okay. Final race of Heat 1. And these will be the same races again for Heat 2. So you can learn what's coming up. And once again, I keep forgetting that it's on my phone. We have got 8 laps. Tri-Bend Speedway, which I think is maybe my favorite track in Wreckfest. I love a speedway personally, and Tri-Bend is such a stupid speedway. It's a lot of fun. Tri-Bend Speedway, normal route, but we're going Class C, slower cars. Let's see what our drivers make of that. They all need to change cars now, so we'll give them just a minute. Getting there to modern setup. It could be useful, Shabby, to be fair. Could be useful. Because, you know, I have to do the talking. Got to entertain the masses here. Let me send you all the tracks in case you didn't get a screenshot. Bing, bing, bong. Bing, bing, bong. Okay, so, as we exit that, PXT has got 60 points, and I think is probably already clear for the quarterfinals. We then have Co sitting on 55, Jonas sitting on 45, Mr. Eki on 42, Maddie on 41. That second place has been very important for Maddie, so I think probably this top 5 is safe. At the bottom, we have 13 drivers, 10 spots to the quarterfinals. So we're going to be losing 3 from this group. Currently, our drivers at risk, Pishelback on 22, Strategist on 23, and Cube on 24. But Frito is only on 25, is only safe by 1 point, and then Matrix on 27 as well. And a couple of 28-point runners as well. So if one of these bottom 3, Cube, Lord Strategist, or Pishelback, gets a good haul of points here, you know, can finish well, they can easily jump themselves up and get into the quarterfinals. So they're going to be pushing hard. They will be starting on the front row as we start in reverse grids. Some tracks, that's not ideal, but on this speedway, as you can carry a lot of speed to the first corner, that is actually a pretty good place to be starting if you know what you're doing. Everyone already has chosen a car. Shabby technically hasn't, but he doesn't need to because he's a spectator, so it's fine. And so, we're going to jump on in here for the final race of Heat 3. Cube, Strategist, Pishelback, and then Matrix and Stonks are the cars to watch. 8 laps on the Tri-Bend Speedway. I love the Speedway. It's so good. This is such a bullshit track. Someone quit? Wait. Who quit? Who quit? Frito quit. God damn it. Okay. We are gonna give our dropped driver just a minute to see if they can get back in. I don't know if they were complaining about technical difficulties before. They were not, so let us see if we can find them in the Discord. Free the Frito. Well, the Fritos freed themselves. That's kind of the issue, actually. Bum bum bum. Oh no, they're back. They're back. 25 points for Frito. Okay. Just need to adjust some people. There we go. So Frito is on 25. They are the one just on the edge, currently in P10 of our group. We have all 13 riders now back. I think we're good to go, so we're going to start that countdown once again. And let's get to it. So for those who don't know, Tri-Bend Speedway, as the name would suggest, is quite literally a triangular speedway. It's got 3 bends. Go in the free camera so you can get an overview. This is not the wild layout, so there is a version of this with jumps, but this is just the regular speedway. And Pischelbach, using the fast turns their advantage, gets an early lead, clear of the cars behind. Matrix has got Kia on their tail. Kia very keen to cause some fucking carnage. But uses it to their advantage and gets into the lead. Kia taking P1, Pischelbach still in P2, and Matrix in P3. These are guys down in the drop zone. They really want to maximize their points here, but Jonas from the back of the pack has got up to P2 already. Pischelbach goes up the inside, but not quite with enough force to spin out Jonas. Hasn't quite capitalized on that one. Down the back, we've got Frito, who started near the front, but has had a bad first couple laps. Mr. Eki once more. Struggling there. So at the front, we've got Hikia, we've got Jonas in this fight. Let's actually ride on board with them. We'll go spherical cam on Hikia. Who's a little bit further back. It looks like Jonas has got a little bit more speed through some of these bends. Because yeah, Hikia is in top gear here. The drivers can tune their cars, change the gear ratios, that kind of thing. I think Hikia has just shorted himself, not given himself enough length on those gears, and just doesn't have the top speed to keep up with Jonas. Also going very tight on these corners as well, not quite carrying that minimum speed that you would maybe want on a speedway. But yeah, Jonas running away with this, and I think Kia actually is at risk as well, because you've got people like Cube behind, who's looking pretty fast, catching up there through some of these bends. Cube needs these points currently in the drop zone. And, you know, going up from P3 to P2 could make all the difference. Cube close enough now to try something. Is Hikia going to hold a defensive line? Are they just going to carry as much speed as possible? The Puffin as well. Very keen to get these points. Yeah, Hikia slow on that second turn. Puffin up the outside. Cube just graces the concrete. Chips away, and actually everyone goes through clean. They all go through clean. They're so nice. Why are they so nice? I don't like it in the slightest. I'm going to jump forward to the Puffin. Now in P2 after that double pass, which is lovely to see. But once again, has got Cube to deal with. Cube is quick through turn 2, though. Puffin putting some wheels on the dirt, trying to get a wide entry. And is clean through there. Cube a little bit sideways, scrubbing off maybe a bit too much speed. Strategist is down at the back there, currently P13. They are about to be lapped by these two. Puffin, can they never get a back marker? There are no rules about back markers interfering. There are no blue flags. There's no stewards even. You just got to try and survive. And actually, Puffin getting held up by a back marker. Let's Cube up into P2. As Jonas has already finished, Cube is going to take that P2 ahead of Puffin with Hikia behind. And that is big. That is very big for the points tallies. Let's see. Maybe both of them are going to score enough here to get through. Going to be interesting. Maddie drops from a P2 last time to a P8 this time. Probably still safe on points. Stonks, I think, has to be nervous with the P9. Pischelbach. Frito, who was the driver at risk last time, gets a P11. And Strategist as well, who is in the drop zone. I don't think that's going to be enough. Pete XT, our leader on points going to this final race, finishes last in the final race of Heat 1. I think Pete's safe with the points haul he had so far. Strategist and Frito, I think, might be at risk. Strategist with a 13,000 ping. It's probably not helping, to be fair. Up to 20,000 ping now. So that makes it hard. I think they may have just quit before that final scoreboard. But yeah, I was trying to see the final points tallies. Pischelbach and Strategist both quit. Hard to say what points they're on. But I think those two may have been down the bottom, below Stonks on points. And so I think that means Strategist, Pishelback, and Fredo are our drivers eliminated here. I will say, guys, for those of you in Heat 2, please don't leave so quickly, because I need to read the points. But yeah, it looks like our drivers going through are Jonas, our points leader at the end of that, then Ko, PTXT, Mr. Eki, Hikia, Maddie, Cube, and Puffin save themselves. Matrix and Stonks, our P10 runner. And so yeah, we're going to say goodbye to Fredo. We're going to say goodbye to Pishelback. We're going to say goodbye to Strategist. As we move forward to the quarterfinals, we're also going to say goodbye to all of these guys. For now, our Heat 1 runners can take a little break as we ask our Heat 2 riders to get into the lobby. We'll give them a little ping on Discord as well in case they're not watching. And we're going to run all those tracks again. So, any of you watching, if you're in Heat 2, please jump into the server now. Server details are up in the Discord. Anyone who's in Heat 1, thank you very much. We'll be seeing those 10 of you back again very shortly for the quarterfinals. And we're going to take a very quick break. Get a little drink. Go relieve yourself if you need to do such a thing. Go dismantle the patriarchy. I don't know. You do you, but you don't. You've got like 3 minutes, so be realistic. We shall be not in the randomizer. Right back. See you in a second.
What the hell is a carburetor? That's a genuine question. I do not know what it does. All I know is, if I attach pipes to it, stick it in a car, that car goes vroom vroom. I work at Mr. V's garage. We don't exactly work the fastest. It's not slow service. I guess you could call it medium speed service. Do we fix every car every time? No. Are we reliable? Not particularly. Are we cheap? Also, not really, compared to local competitors. Feels like I've been working here for years. Decades, maybe. When did we start, actually? 2021? That's only 3 years ago! Wow, that's depressing. Anyway, my boss told me that if I don't make more money around here, he's gonna fire me. So I took the company mascot and printed it on these 100% cotton t-shirts. You can buy them now at MrV'sGarage.com. Channel members and Patreons get 10% off. That's MrV'sGarage.com. Now, back to whatever you were watching.
And we are back. Well, actually, some Twitch people might still be on an ad, but mostly we are back. I just realized, guys, I'm accidentally streaming this in 4K. Didn't mean to do that at all. Is the bitrate okay? Because it might be struggling. If not, we can always quit. I have to like annoyingly turn it off and turn it back on again if I want to fix that. How does it look? Is it alright? If you're enjoying the lovely, crisp, clear 4K image, then maybe it's fine. Maybe it's good. How did I make it in quarters? With sheer driving talent matrix. Other than that, no idea, mate. You tell me. Looks good? Alright, fine. Well, maybe we should stream more 4K more often. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So, it looks like we have everybody. We have everybody in the server for Heat 2. We start again, same 3 tracks as we just had. So all Heats riders have the exact same challenge. There's no favoritism here. We have 12 runners in the second heat, which means 10 of them are going through. Only 2 will be eliminated. Sucks to be them, I guess, but them's the rules.
Hello.
We are still just giving people another little minute just to decide what car they want out of Class B as the Minister of Tea. That was like that really confused my brain, but thank you for the prime. Welcome aboard the Twitch streams. Giving all our racers just a little minute to choose another car. There's only 2 not ready. Actually, one of them is shabby, and one's me. So as soon as Chromio is ready in that vehicle, we are gonna roll this thing. Let's go. Tourism, not tea. Oh, I can only see the first so many characters, so there we go. All right. We are here. Let's actually go on board for this one with Socks. Well, let's have a slightly different camera to that one. That's quite helpful, actually. Socks, who hasn't been in BISH BOSH for a couple of runnings, but was in the first couple. Those of you who... Oh, no! Those of you who remember BISH BOSH 0, remember Socks had an absolute storming run in either the quarters or the semis when we were on an oval track. Won basically every heats race. A figure 8 is kind of like an oval, mostly. Just the middle bit is, you know, a bit different. And who is that? Someone at the back getting absolutely annihilated. You know what? No, we'll go in an overview. Score to follow a rider, but we should see this. That was the Sprinkles in, again, an absolutely enormous car. Getting wrecked on the cross. Currently down in P12. So we have Alex Norris, a familiar face once more, up in P1. Socks in P2, then the Cobra, Mandeville Mascot, back from last time. Had a good run last time. Unit Jab, then Botako P6. Oswald, kind of a serial finalist for BISH BOSH. In the hearse, but making it work, actually. In P7, hustling there with Yolokowski on the outside. Some other familiar faces, Luanato, Chromio. It's looking good, and we have a fight for the lead here. Socks up the inside of Alex Norris. I think Socks, she just loves an oval corner. Getting that car, you know, just a little bit sideways. Keeping it pinned. Very good at holding speed through these corners. But Alex Norris is not taking it lying down, not taking it lightly. He's got a missile to deliver. And he doesn't care whose rear end he shoves it up. And so this is going to be a battle going the whole way, I think. Mandeville Mascot is kind of all alone in P3 there. Oswald has made his way up to P4. Pickass Johnson might have something to say about that, but he is... Actually, no, he's a lap down in P11 and has clearly taken some big hits. Oswald and the Sprinkles have a huge collision. Both of them taken out to the outside. And what is this? 5 cars in an enormous pile-up, including both of our front runners taken out, which means Mandeville Mascot actually has taken P1 now, somewhere here, fighting Alex Norris. The Cobra and Socks now fighting out for P3. That was an enormous collision for all of these. Christ alive. So this now is our fight for P1. These two, I believe, are just entering lap 8. I want to say the Sprinkles and Chromio, very slow there. Stopped on turn 1. Alex has managed to navigate it relatively well, but getting slowed down. Chromio has gone for the chaos approach to this race, I think. The Sprinkles as well, very low health. Nothing left to lose. Getting railed. And actually the Sprinkles is out there. That's a DNF into the outside wall. Mandeville Mascot still in P1. Sox is back up into P2 though. And look at the speed there. As we're coming through on lap 9 now. Sox determined to win this thing. Was down to P4 at one point. Not happy with that. Is back up into the lead. Way more collisions than we had in Heat 1, I have to say. The crossover playing a much more crucial role here as Oswald just annihilating Lou from the side. Jesus Christ. And I think the way has been pretty much cleared for Sox. Mandeville Mascot dropped down a bit. And so Sox now comes up to the line and is going to take a win in the first race of Heat 2. That's going to be Mandeville Mascot for second place. The Cobra taking P3. Alex, followed by Patako. Lewis a lap down. We're going to have Oswald P6 ahead of Yolokowski. That fight went the whole way. And it looks like Unit Jab is going to take the P8. Ooh, almost glided with Lou, but they avoided each other. And so it's a fight now for the last 2 positions in the top 10. As Pika Stormson has also been DNF'd somewhere on the track. It must be this orange car smoking in the middle there. So yeah, Chromio does get P9. Luminator doesn't actually get to the line before the timeout, but still gets the points. 12 points for P10. Currently is seeing Lou through to the quarterfinals, but it's a risky place to be in. And that was a hell of a first race for this heat. Sox with the P1 to P4 and back up into P1. You love to see it. You love to see it. So, we're just going to load up our second track once more. I can get that going. I want to say... Oh, no. Shabby's doing it. It's all good. 6 laps. Lovely stuff. A B class. We're looking good. So, our riders... Just going to get a couple seconds in case I want to change cards once more. What are we thinking, guys? How is Heat 2 stacking up compared to Heat 1 so far? Can Jab make back-to-back-to-back finals? Well, we'll wait and see. It's a pretty good start so far. Currently running in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a playoff berth currently. You know, you don't have to win the heats. You don't have to win the quarterfinals. There's only one win that really matters, and that's the win in the finals. If you're just sneaking through, you know, not raising too much attention, buying your time, and then you're saving yourself for those last few races, that can be the way to do it. We've had winners kind of come out of nowhere. I think Charter's win in BISH BASH BOSH 1, maybe kind of famously, just kind of snuck out of nowhere on the final race of the finals to take enough points to win the whole thing. That's all we ever need to do. Is this F1 if they brought back V10s? 2 easy solutions to fix Formula 1. Bring back V10s and figure 8s with a crossover. And honestly, banger every single weekend at that point. It looks like we've got a few people supporting Sox here in the chat. Sox for the win, I'm seeing. Sox is very popular with the fans. I think the fans, it seems you guys are drawn to really anyone just named after an inanimate object. But Sox is the original. She was the first one to come here and show that, yeah, you can just be a household item and still be a great racer. And chat really connects with that. And we love to see it. We love to see the vibes between drivers and our viewers. Lovely stuff. When will the next BISH BASH BOSH be? Is there any requirements to join? This is an absolute perfect place to ask. The next one, I couldn't tell you exact dates. I am moving house on Wednesday, and stuff is going to be up in the air for a few weeks. So I don't know. It will definitely not be in May. I can tell you that much. The best place is just to be in the Discord. It will be announced when the sign-up sheet opens, all that kind of stuff. The only requirements is you have to have Wreckfest 1 on either Steam, Epic Games, or GOG, because those 3 platforms are the only ones that can connect to the server. You can't play from console, and if you have it on PC but via the Xbox app, that also doesn't work because they use like Xbox console servers. So basically, Wreckfest on Steam, and that's it. It's open to everyone. We prioritize entrance for returning winners, but other than that, it's just first come, first serve. So yeah. And so, we have everyone ready. We've got the track loaded up. It looks like everybody's ready to go. The drivers are trying to organize to kick out Shabby. Clearly unhappy with his unfiltered power across every single medium in the Mr. V universe. Too bad. he's a dictator. What can we do about it? And that's why we love him. So, we get away here. Springfield starting on the front row. Pickass Thompson around the outside. Oswald trying to sneak up the inside. And it actually got through clean there. Basically, everyone gets through clean apart from Chromio, who gets spun at the first corner. Let's keep on the pack, though. Much more opportunity for Carnage back here. No one hits the ball out up the inside, and Oswald has taken quite a storming lead in this one. Very trying to cut the sprinkles on their nose and about to fall into the infield. Yolikowski goes on. Madison Mascot on their roof. Cobra getting slowed down. Many people getting so Lou with a front flip, going nose into dirt. It's not the way. Not the way to get through there quickly. That is devastating. Oswald, though, very clean up in front. Looks like a man who's driven the Dirt Devil before. He knows his way around here. He knows the speed to take over these jumps. Look at this. Beautiful transition. Well, actually, not great. Also, I have to say, you could have done that one better. But pretty good transitions. Up behind him, Pickass Thompson currently in P2. Sox and Alex Norris again. Alex does not like orange vehicles, like a bull in the ring. Saw red, had to charge. And Pickass Thompson was pretty innocent. pretty much a passenger in that one. Just got rammed into the concrete. That has slowed Alex down just a little bit. Let's Sox up into P2, but they're still close enough. This fight's going to carry him, but Alex, though, getting a bit sideways. Getting a bit off to one side on these jumps. Pickass Thompson doing the same. Going up on his doors. Going to get round. Unit jab as well. Lots of people here, I guess, not used to the Dirt Devil. You have to really manage your speed over these jumps, because obviously you can do them too slow, but you can also do them too fast, and you end up landing very awkwardly. And this is actually Oswald already coming through to lap some people. Not like that, though. That's not how you do that. As I said, Oswald definitely looks like he has a bit more experience on this track. It's all about just knowing the lines to get these nice transitions. Let's go on board for a couple laps of Oswald. Get an idea of... Oh my god. I was going to say, get an idea of the lap through here. And actually, Oswald has spun and got T-boned by Sox. Which means we now have a fight for the lead as Alex Norris actually goes through after they all collide. But let's ride on board. Let's watch this fight for the lead. And let's get an idea of the kind of ideal lines through here, if any of them can actually show it. So Oswald and Sox side by side for P2. Alex is in the lead as we enter the final lap. But that could change. Oswald going to go for the inside line on the first straight, which is a pretty good one, but then obviously you're a bit tighter for turn 2. I personally would be taking this line as well. We want to go underneath the crossover jump. Alex gets good speed through there, but lands more awkwardly. Oswald obviously gets on the throttle earlier, gets good speed through the final corner, and is going to take the win here with Alex only a car length behind. Sox does take P3. Had a bit of a fumble in the final corner, but does get P3. Patako all on their own. Takes P4 in the estate wagon. It's a multi-purpose vehicles. And one of those purposes is speed. Yola Kowskill, Manfield Mascot, Pickass Thompson, and Unit. That was a fight. 4 P5. Any one of them could have got it. The Sprinkles with P9. And the Cobra is going to get P10 ahead of Chromio and Luinator. Thank you, Chromio. And Luinator clearly not gelling with the Dirt Devil way back here. Hard to say from what lap they're on. That is going to be a P12 for Lou. Some people like it in Dirt Devil. Some people struggle. And yeah, so 35 points for Oswald, 30 for Alex. Socks, a P1 and a P3. I think she's already safe into the quarters. Let us see our bottom 2 as we go to our final race then. And so, it looks like... Oh, Shabby's just changing the track. I survived Dirt Devil. It's easier said than done, Sock, so well done, because you can get some massive wipeout hits there. So yeah, fair play, fair play. Our bottom 2, it looks like are Lou and the Sprinkles on 22 and 23. We're going to be losing 2 people here. 10 of them are going to go through, and Pataka's actually quit, so we're going to need to figure out their points. 10 of them are going to go through to quarterfinals, so we're going to be losing 2. Unless Patako doesn't come back, then we're just going to be losing 1. But yeah, Lou and the Sprinkles, 22 and 23, but Chromio is only on 24, only ahead by 1. So basically, if either of these two finish ahead of Chromio, they will knock Chromio out. And so it's still all to play for. We need to see if we're going to get Potako back again, because obviously we don't want to be missing our runners. I have no idea what points Potaka was on, so this one is going to be interesting because you rejoin with 0. 38? Okay. It's actually Potaka doing quite well in 5th place then. Not bad. We're going to head back to the desk just as we get all our drivers back in. And I'm just going to give Potaka their points back, which annoyingly has a very lengthy chat command to do. And there we go. Looking pretty good. C-Class, 8 laps, tri-bend, looking lovely. Once again, we'll give them a minute just to choose. Game crashed, it happens. Wreckfest will do that to you. In my view, I'm just sat in my lawnmower on the line. I don't even know how you got in a lawnmower, Shabby. You should not be allowed to do that. You're a spectator. Give Shabby 90 points. I'm just actually not going to tell you what the chat commands are, Shabby, because I feel like you're going to abuse them. What are you guys talking about? Eurovision watch party. Is Eurovision next week? I think it is next week, right? I know it's after I move. Wait. Okay, Google. When is Eurovision 2025?
The Eurovision Song Contest 2025 will take place in Basel, Switzerland. The dates for the shows are as follows.
I'll just say the date, man. I didn't ask.
Tuesday, May 13th.
It's on the May 17th.
Second semi-final. Thursday, May 15th, 2025.
Shut up. Nobody asked for Google Gemini. Get it off my phone, Google. I didn't ask. This Saturday for Eurovision. I will be watching. Have no fear. I will be watching. I will not be streaming it. I was going to be enjoying it in my own leisure, and as you can imagine, quite drunk. I will be very drunk, as is customary for Eurovision. It's going to be great. So, all our drivers are getting in C-Class cars. It looks like we've got one more just deciding. So, we're going to give them just a sec, and then we'll jump on over. Discord VC watch along. Yeah, as long as it's not a video call. As long as you don't fucking stream video of public events in my Discord again, you bastards. Those of you who keep trying to stream Formula 1 qualifying sessions in the Discord, you're going to start getting banned. Please be aware of this. By me. I'm going to ban you. Again, what is Eurovision? It's in the name. It's a song contest, and I'm not going to explain any more than that. You should be watching it. It's mandatory viewing around here. All right, everyone's got a car. We are all ready to accept one. So we head back in. As always, Luinator and the Sprinkles, currently in the drop zone. Chromio, Pickass Johnson, maybe even Unit Jab are the ones to watch. These are names to look out for, but Sprinkles and Lou, going to see if they can pull something out of the bag here. They will be starting first and second grid slots, and we are on a speedway, so it's quite easy to get away here. Let's start this thing and see who's going through to the quarterfinals. We'll go free cam straight away. And Lou, trying to make a playoff berth, has gone for the bio bus. It's like that horrible wretch colour when you're trying to throw up and there's nothing left. Lovely, and they are immediately down in P11. Sprinkles, though, is still up in P1 as we fly over. Pickass Thompson getting pushed to the outside. Chromio, who needs to score good points to make sure they don't get dropped down into the bottom two, is doing that quite well. Currently in P1 with a nice gap behind. Sprinkles does need to score well to get out the bottom two, and this is a pretty good way to do it, but quite quickly they're coming up on some buses. So Luinator, who's in the bottom two, you would think would maybe be trying to actually score points here. It's just gone for the bus block thing. Oswald as well, who is a bit more solid on points. That makes sense to be running a bus now. Let's see how those two factor into it in a second. Back at the front, Chromio still in the lead. Mando Mascot now up to P2. As Unit Jab with the Cobra getting tangled there. Sock and Pickass Thompson as well getting antsy. The Sprinkles, who was on P2, has dropped to P4 in the pack now. And the pack is risky because as you come out of these turns, particularly this one, there is a lot of concrete around the outside. One little bounce off someone else, just like that, and Yola Cowskill getting wrecked here. It doesn't take much of a hit on this concrete because you carry so much speed at the speedway, it's in the name, that then, yeah, these concrete bollards can send you flying. Mandeville Mascot is now in P1, and Alex Norris has also got ahead of Chromio. Let's see what these three can manage. They are running all quite close together. Can they get through clean? Are we going to see some crashes here? Sprinkles is still in P4, which is good for them. Need those points. And actually, with these current points, I think Sprinkles will save themselves from relegation. It looks like Lou's going out, currently in P12. But Sprinkles might be clawing their way into the semi-finals of this one. Lou about to get lapped again. Trying to maybe block with a bus, but just blocking themselves into the concrete. It's not going well. Trying to be a moving roadblock, but the thing with the bus is it's not actually very maneuverable. So it's hard to put it in someone else's way because they can just turn out the way faster than you can block them. And so let's head to the front. Mandeville Mascot, I think probably starting the final lap here, because we're currently tracking Lou's lap, who's quite a few laps down. But let's see, Mandeville Mascot, Alex Norris battling out for a P1, but Norris goes wide. That's risky. It's lumpy on the outfield, and it's obviously just dirt as well. Not much grip out there. Alex, I think, trying to take a P1 as we drag race to the line. No! Mandeville gets it just by half a car ahead of Alex Norris. And Chromio does get P3. Sprinkles ends up P5, but that's still decent points. Sox P8. And so Yola Cowskill and Pickass Thompson are going to get 9 and 10 respectively. Actually, the other way around. And so our two buses then are simply at the back. Oswald is ahead. I think Oswald might be a lap ahead of Lou. Oswald is probably fine on points, though. Lou, you know, sometimes it's about putting on a show, isn't it? You can't say it's not entertaining. I think Lou was maybe planning to block other people and just ended up in a bus versus bus battle at the back. Oswald clearly just wanted to practice some pit maneuvers. Oh, God. So, let's see what that does to our overall points here. Pretty sure Lou is gonna be leaving us after the heats. But let's see who else doesn't make the cut. And so at the bottom, Lou and Pika Stormson actually are gonna get dropped out. The Sprinkles does save themselves with 41 points. And that means Sprinkles is making it to the quarterfinals. Well done there. That P5, enough to get through by 3 whole points. Sadly, Pika Stormson and Lou, they put on a show for us. Excellent competitors, but they are going to be saying goodbye now. They are not going to be making it back to the quarterfinals. But the other 10, the Sprinkles, Unit Jab, Yolokowsko, Chromio, Potako, the Cobra, Oswald, Sox, Alex, and Manvo Mascot are all making it to the playoffs. So with that, we're going to ask our Heat 1 riders to get back into the lobby. We are just going to say goodbye to Lou and Pika Stormson, and by say goodbye, I mean kick them. And in just a minute, we're going to be starting our quarterfinals. Let's just set all the points to 0. Head back to the desk. And give all our racers just a minute to get back in. We're going to take a quick ad break, and I'll see you in just a sec. And we are back. If I could click the right button. We are back. So, Heat 2 done. And I will say, in both Heat 1 and Heat 2, we didn't have any huge runaway performances like we have seen in previous BISH BASH BOSHs. As I said, none of our previous winners are back with us today. And it seems like we maybe have a slightly more level playing field here. It's a bit more open for really anyone to take it. We are just gearing up for the start of the quarterfinals. How do I count how many people I have on the server? That would be a useful skill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 20 racers. It's looking pretty good. We got them all hit. And so, our next race is going to be in the school bus. The loaner school bus to keep things all fair. And we are going back to the tri-bend. So, as explained before, our playoffs work a little differently. We're going to put the timer on screen. And we're going to reset that, which I think is this button. Nope. This button. Hell yeah. So, 12 minutes on screen. As each race starts, the timer will start ticking down. As the winner of each race crosses the line, the timer will be paused. If there's still time, we will load back up, same track, same class restrictions, but here it's exactly the same cars. And we will run again. It's the same rules as reverse cut points. You still get 35 for winning each race, etc., etc. And we keep going until there's no time left on the clock. And so obviously, if you start to win early, you're going to have, like, worse grid slot for the later races. It's all about your consistency and getting through the pack over and over again. Each running of this is going to be 6 laps, which should be relatively quick, but you are in buses, which are not the fastest thing ever. So hard to say exactly how many races are going to get here. But yeah, people need to play it strategically. And you also need to think about the kind of social element of this. You know, if you lay a big hit on someone early and make an enemy, then you've got a target on your back for multiple races to come. The same thing, you know, if you put a good performance in, people see you're quick on track, well, they might, at the start of the next race, decide to slow you down, as it were. So it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to head to the server as all our races are ready, and we are going to roll with the timer on screen. Very first race of our quarterfinals. Here at the tri-bend. That's a lot of buses. Some of our races in the custom BISH BASH BOSH teal and pink bus. Some of the others have brought their own one. That's okay too. And let's see. Pete XD with an early lead here. It's basically random grids to start with. And no! Who is that? Someone on their side. Pete on their side out of P1. We've also got Ko and the Cobra. Both of them taking massive damage. Already down to about half health. That is not going to help. We can't really see the damage. The game does have cosmetic damage, but not really for spectators in online servers. These guys might now be suffering with bent axles, you know, making it harder to steer. You can get engine damage, hurts your acceleration, that kind of thing. So an early crash like that can hurt you, but the Cobra, not letting it slow him down, weaving his way through the pack here, already back up into P16, recovering well. We head back to the front as we currently have Alex Norris, a familiar name, in P1 again, with Stonks P2 and Matrix P3. Kind of the podium breaking away from the rest of the pack here. 2 teals and a pink. We love the colors. Matrix up the inside, almost spun out Stonks, but they stay clean-ish. Ish. And then Oswald leads the pack, leads the peloton. It's like watching Formula E back here from P4 backwards. A crunch at the very tight turn 2, turn 3 even. That is a hell of a pack there. There's going to be a lot of jostling for position in the middle of this. And remember, basically, after this first race, this will be the order they start race 2, just in reverse. And so drivers who are side by side here are going to start the next one side by side as well. And so they're going to get to know each other very well. Oswald getting spun there by Maddie. Maddie A lot of experience driving long vehicles with all those limo races in Heat 1. Maybe has taught her some things that she can carry forward onto the tribe end in the bus, but Oswald has already raced a bus round here. And so you would think knows it well. Oswald tries to put a hit on, instead collects the Puffin and Hikia both into the inside wall of turn 1. Christ alive. Let's actually try and pick up our P1 runner. It's going to be Alex, and we're going to go in the spherical camp. He is on the final lap. And it's hard to say who that is behind because the game doesn't want to show us the names. That's great. Alex here has got very nice lines. I don't think you basically ever need to slow down in this bus. It's so slow that you can just take every corner full speed. And Alex is going to cross the line here to win the very first race of the quarterfinals. Got drivers crossing the line now. Your locale score takes P5, Q P6, Sox P7. All good points. Mr. Eki and Pete for 8 and 9. Maddie and Oswald. The Cobra actually stays behind Co there. Got drivers coming over the line now. So remember, we will be losing 5 between quarters and semis. And so you really want to be finishing top 15 every race here. And the final 2 cross the line. And technically, Unit Jab is in P20, which only gives 2 points. So that was just over 3.5 minutes. I think we're going to have 3 more runnings of that, that means. It's going to be interesting how things play out. It means we're going to have Unit Jab starting on pole with Potako alongside and Chromio. Our winner from the first one, Alex Norris, is going to be the last bus on the road now. Drivers are not ready for some reason, but they basically have nothing to change. So we're only going to give them like 2 seconds, and then we're going to go again. Got rolled lap 1. Yeah. Shit happens, doesn't it? That's called getting boshed, mate. So, I don't even think these guys can change their tunes here, so all they can really change is their livery. One of the liveries shows up as the special Bish Bash Bosh livery, but I will add, the drivers can't see that. It's only my client side, it's not server side. So maybe some of them trying to figure out how to get in the Bish Bash Bosh Bosh. Maybe some of them decided they don't want to be in it because they suck. Commentators often say, if it looks slow, they're going quick. With Unit Jab, this is certainly the case. Well, let's see how it pans out. Starting from P1 this time. We are going to force them to be readied up. This will put everyone into a ready state in just a few seconds. We better not see anyone change cars. I'm technically in a mud digger, but that's fine, because I'm not racing. So, start this one again, and we are away. The timer starts ticking down, 9 minutes 12. Unit Jab takes P1, but it's an outside line, and in a car this slow, I don't think that's really what you want. Just Chromio has used that P3 to quite a good advantage here, and is now holding the lead, coming through turn 2, but it's getting spun. It's getting spun by 2 different cars, and Chromio to the outside, and that is not a good time for it, because the entire pack goes past, and Chromio from P1 to P20 in an instant. And Maddie as well back there. Gets spun out. Finds herself in P19. Places can still be made up. If other people get spun, you can overtake them. And you know, if you're consistent, 6 laps is long enough that you can catch up with some people. But that means Potako in the yellow school bus, proper American, well, school bus style, is leading this thing. Jonas and the Cobra all getting elbows out, side by side, fighting for P2. That is the battle we come to see, and they're all going through clean. I guess they've realized that, you know, if they actually spin each other, basically everyone loses. They're all just trying to hold speed here, all swinging to the outside. They're playing nice so far, all keeping a lane. This is the corner that catches people out, though. Alex Norris on his side to the outside wall. I was going to say, the other corners, you can run side by side. This turn 3 is tighter. The triangle is kind of wonky. Not all corners are the same. Turn 3 is just tighter, and you cannot run side by side and all carry full speed. And so that really is when friendships come to die. And yeah, look at the crunch there. Mandeville Mascot using that to his advantage. is trying to advance on this P2 pack, which is currently led by the Puffin in P2. And actually, it looks like the Puffin is closing in on Potako. Potako's been holding P1 for a while, but isn't, like, dropping the P2 pack, and actually is maybe looking vulnerable. Puffin is very thankful that that concrete has already been smashed. Otherwise, they would have had a bit of hurt on there. Potako gets through the final bend clean. Are they about to win this thing? No, they've still got more laps to go. And the Puffin once more carries good speed through turn 1 and is certainly closer to Potako. Can they make something happen here? We're kind of now balancing out into single file as Jonas, Mandeville and the Cobra all come through. And the Puffin is so close. I think they're on the final lap. So doesn't have any more time though, sadly. And actually, Puffin might be about to lose P2 as Potako does take the win. Puffin holds on. Ko, who was up there right from the start, drops down to P7 in the end. Missed Eki P8. PXT is going to take P10 ahead of Oswald. The Sprinkles, so many drivers. Chromio, who got Jack Dran early on, only recovers to P19. And Matrix takes that P20. Maddie actually had the best recovery of all of them. Was P19 on the first lap, gets up to P15, which is a 4-point difference. And that can make all kinds of difference at the end of the quarterfinals. Very interesting stuff. I think we can safely say that starting on the front row is very important. Makes a huge difference here. And so Chromio, the Sprinkles, and Unit Jab are going to be having... and Unit Jab potentially that P3 spot is maybe the best one. Going to be having a good run on the first lap. Just needs to be really careful with the drivers behind. Once again, getting spicy here at the Tri-Bend. I still need to watch your corner ranking video. Honestly insulting you haven't seen it already, mate. And you have the goal to turn up to the stream? No, obviously it's a long video. Like, you do you. Watch it if you want to. Hopefully you enjoy it if you do, though. How many getting knocked out for this? 5 getting knocked out. We currently have 20. We're going to be taking 15 to the semis. Everyone should be ready. So we're going to go again. Chromio on pole. Then Sprinkles. Then Unit Jab. They're currently our bottom 3. Bottom 5 getting knocked out. After probably 2 more runnings of this thing. We'll follow Chromio, who started on pole. Our front 3 running side by side through turn 2. There is concrete on the inside, though, which Unit Jab is going to just demolish. And they're still all side by side. This camera is awful. We'll go on the spherical cam. See if that's a bit clearer. Not really. The bus is so big. They're still side by side. Just a wall of bus running at the front of this race. And Chromio starting to get unfriendly with it. Clearly just turns into the side of the Sprinkles there. Trying to instigate a big one with all these buses behind. But actually, F1 stays clean. F1 stays at top speed. We have people like Yolikowska and Maddie have made a good run there. As some fighting is slowing down. Chromio! Some would call that karma after they tried to put a hit on. Gets the hit put on them and spun to the outside. And that is now P18. At P20. Behind P2. And so Unit Jab, a front row starter, now on P1 with quite a distance behind. Everyone else fought it out down at turn 3. And Unit Jab just very casually sailed on through and has taken P1. Hikia is in P2, the kind of wine-coloured bus. Wine! We got wine! We got wine out the ass! If you don't know that meme, your life is probably better for it. Let's actually drop down a bit. Let's follow Hikia in the kind of like wine, maybe, let's say, berry-coloured bus. The Love Bus. With Ko in a Bish Bash Bosh Bosh coming up the inside of turn 3. This fight for P2 is going to carry on, though. They're both running pretty clean, pretty respectful racing, actually. I have to say, Hikia, though, on 2 wheels, went a bit overzealous up the inside of turn 1, caught the dirt, and just unbalanced the bus too much. And that's now P8 for Hikia. One tiny mistake here, and the level of competition from these buses is so high that Hikia loses 6 places. Devastating. Let's jump then. Let's jump to Ko. Just to see what it's like at the front here. Ko, who actually has unit jump up ahead. Oswald is a lap down, but trying to cause trouble for the leaders. And there's no discrimination. Oswald causing trouble for the entire front of this race. Socks, who had a good run, was trying to come through to maybe take P2 and might still do that. Oswald caused a bit of a distraction, but actually Socks does get up into P2. And she is going to hold on to it. Unit Jab cannot be dethroned for the win of this race. But Socks P2 at the very final corner. With the assist from Oswald, we have to say, he was actually DNF there. I think Oswald must have hit the steel kind of overheads of that bridge before the line. But was able to just be enough of an annoyance there on the final lap to drop Ko down into P3. Let's see what that means for our overall points then, as we are going to have maybe only one more race here. And so our overall points leader is currently the Atlantic Puffin. Socks only a point behind, ahead of Unit Jab. Consistency sees you through, Stonks as well, and Ko. Down at the bottom though, we will lose 5 after this, and it's currently Chromio, Oswald, Maddie, Yolokowskill, and Hikia are our bottom 5. But Hikia is only behind the Cobra by 1, and actually the Sprinkles is also on 34, and Cube on 35. So, really, all of these names on screen currently up until about the Matrix or Pete are the ones to watch. Pete, who won a couple of races in the heats, if he has a devastating race in this final one, could be in danger. I think Chromio might be a bit too far gone unless he can pull a win out here. Same thing for Oswald, but certainly all these runners in the 30s points-wise could still claw their way into the semis. We're going to have, I think, one more race here. Let's start the countdown and see how it goes. The timer starts now as we go into the free cam once more. Chromio needs to basically win this if they want to get through to the semis. Oswald up the inside, Maddie up the inside still. Maddie, who got spun out early a couple of races ago, maybe trying to do that to some other people. They all go wide, which allows people like Patako up the inside, maybe. And it's just a huge crunch of buses. Jonas on their side. Patako rolling. Maddie spun round and losing a ton of health in the process. Even more with a little hit from Hikia. And the 3 of these guys dropped way down for the back. And that might be it for some of these runners. Maddie, who was quite low on points. We shall see, we shall see. Up at the front, we've got Oswald, who is down at the bottom, but Oswald does have speed when he decides to stop fucking around. He is actually a very quick racer, and so maybe can see his way up into the semis if he now decides to just have a clean race here, maybe take over P2 or P1. Chromio also wants to get a P1, currently P20 in overall points, but there's a lot of points for P1 that might still work out. Mr. Eki in P3, that should be a good position. Pete as well is in the top 15, but down the bottom of it, and so as a driver at risk, needs to be careful. And we've got some other runners. Cube is at the bottom, Matrix. Stonks is right at the top of the leaderboard, and it's just an excellent run here to get up into P6 already, and that's going to be P5 coming through there. The pink bus of Stonks going very, very well. At the front, Chromio has dropped Oswald a bit. Chromio in the yellow bus. Yellow, you know, the Lamborghini colour, sometimes the Ferrari colour, and it's quick apparently, even on buses. That yellow bus looking uncatchable at the front. Oswald trying though. Takes good speed in turn 1. Very important not to scrub speed with these buses because they can actually get sideways quite a lot, as Chromio does there. Oswald, I think, carrying better speed, and actually is almost nose to bumper with Chromio. Let's see how they go at the final turn. And Oswald, better speed again, side by side. Chromio over the concrete, getting unsettled, but it's going to slow down Oswald as well, as they're side by side once more into turn 1 as we enter the final lap. We still have a minute on the clock, so this might not actually be the final race, depending on how quickly they do this final lap. Oswald gets up the inside, though, at turn 2 and takes the lead from Chromio. Can he hold it at the hairpin? I don't know. I don't know, because PXD's in there as well. But Oswald does hold on to it. I don't think anyone can catch. Actually, Pete can't quite catch. Was so close, and if that line was a few meters up the road, Pete might have won it. But Oswald does win, and actually, we have 38 seconds on the clock, which means we are gonna get another race at Tri-Bend. Our drivers come over the line. Manfield Mascot P17. Yolakowskill is a lap down. Maddie gets the P18. Stonks, who's had a couple very good races, P19 in this one. Yolakowskill will be P20, a lap down there. He shut the door. He's welcome to shut the door, Pete. He's trying to make sure that he won. But what a drag race for the end there. Oswald holding on to it. Holds that P1, which is a very good points haul. But we will have another race to decide who gets dropped out. And so some of the racers who are now going to be at the bottom 5 have one more chance. Let's see what that's done to the point standings. I have no idea. Chromio as well from P20, but ends up with 25 points for a third place here. Is probably out the bottom 5 of that, I think. Let's see. So our bottom 5 currently is going to be Maddie now on 29. Yolakowskill, the Cobra. Chromio is still down there, but is at the P17 now. And Matrix currently in P16. But Matrix is 1 point behind Hikia and the Sprinkles. And so we're going to have a final race. And these kinds of names, Sprinkles, Hikia, Matrix, Chromio, the Cobra as well, they could all be in the semis. They are going to have to be looking out for each other. This is going to be interesting. At the top of the leaderboard, the Puffin, Pete, Unit Jab, I think they're safe. They're like 30 points clear. The bottom runners, they got nothing to worry about. Oswald as well has jumped himself back up into P, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's looking fine. He's looking real good unless all of these guys get top spots. And Oswald is P20. I think he's fine. Let's start our final run, our final race of the quarters. See who gets through to the semis. Oswald is not ready. Slowing it down for everyone. Being a nuisance, as always. Maddie is starting on pole now. Going to take us through the line. This will be the final running. Only 38 seconds on the clock at the start of this means it will tick down to the end before we finish this run. And so this is it. This one for all the marbles. This one to progress in Bish Bash Bosh number 4 and not be one of the 5 drivers knocked out at this stage. A bit less of a crunch than we had last time. That's going to be Jonas getting flipped by Socks. We've got other people. Unit Jab stopped there. Manfield Mascot on the outside. Pete on his side. Probably is going to be okay though. Had a good number of points, I want to say. Who were some of the names I said? We've got Chromio looking to get to the semis up into P11 in the yellow bus. Currently there in this pack. Oh my god, I'm dying here. 1 second. The Sprinkles as well. Maddie, who is in P20 on the overall standings, is in P1 with quite a significant lead. And you never know, could jump up into the semis if she holds on to this. Potako and the Sprinkles both want good points here. So they might form an alliance and race cleanly. It doesn't look like that's the case. Potako gets sent to the outside. Let some other drivers catch up. The Cobra is going to be alongside. And the Cobra is going to get that P3 as across the line. And it's all mixed up. And it's all actually very close here. We've got some more people out to the outside. Mr. Eki is currently in P20. P16, P19. And yeah, Maddie with a huge lead in P1. This is going to be a pretty safe win for Maddie. She's just finishing lap 4. 2 more laps to go. If you do find yourself in P20 overall standings, this is how you want to take the final race. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Maddie to get up into the semis, but there's literally nothing more she could do. And so this might just do it. This might just see Maddie through. Behind that, the Sprinkles trying to stay safe. The Cobra as well. Potako. Oswald once again is in P5. That's a pretty good run. Had a couple of dick around races, but he is now scoring good points here as they come down the final straight to start the final lap. And this is really the battle to watch. These buses close enough together to cause problems. And Hikia, again, too close to the inside. Just unsettles the car, gets some wheels up in the air, and there's so much weight, so high up in these buses. They will roll in an instant if you let them. Got to be so careful there as Maddie wins the final race of the quarters ahead of the Sprinkles. Cobra rounds out the podium ahead of Potako and Oswald. Cube, Alex, Yolakowskill. Chromio actually doesn't quite get to the line, gets overtaken, and that is devastating. All of these riders going to get ahead of Chromio. That has got to hurt. And Chromio, who was up in the top 10, actually finishes P19. That is devastating. Chromio, a rider trying to make it through to the semis and gets flipped, not even just at the start of the final lap, meters from the line. Means they only pick up 3 points and are undoubtedly going to get knocked out with that. That is insane from Chromio. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if Chromio got spun there. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. And so, our bottom 5 are going to be Chromio, Hikia, Yolakowskill, Matrix, and Mandeville Mascot. Mandeville Mascot, who did so well in the heats, I think maybe won a heats race, Ash is getting dropped from the semis. And so all our runners above, Stonks, Mr. Eki, Maddie does save herself, the Cobra Cube, Jonas, Potako, Socks, the Sprinkles, all these names are making it through to the semis. Oh my god. GG. Thank you to all those names who do get eliminated. You put on quite a show. That was a hard fought quarterfinals. So many swaps in the overall point standings. So many drivers put in such a performance, but that was tough competition. My fucking diaphragm can barely take it. I'm in pain. I'm in pain. Oh. I'm just trying to make some notes here. Who's gone out? Oh, God. Who else was it? Chromio and Hikia. Chromio and Hikia are eliminated. Well done to all of them. GG's in the chat, please. Oh, my days. Oh, my days as we head back to the desk. What a way to run a quarterfinals even. I love the Tri-Bend Speedway. A simple track. So much opportunity for chaos, particularly when we're in buses. Wow. So many drivers saving themselves from elimination. Massive congratulations to Maddie there with a nerve to go from P20 in the point standings and just get cleanly through the first lap, hold on to P1, save themselves up into the semi-finals. Massive congratulations, and all the other drivers who did that as well. Those of you who just were clean throughout and got through on consistent points, very impressive indeed. Very impressive indeed. So, our semi-finals are going to be a bit more of a regular setup. We are now going to Pine Hills Raceway in reverse. It's going to be 3 laps per running, and everybody is in the Killer Bee. Bit more of a normal race, but nothing's entirely normal in Wreckfest, is it? We're going to see how this one plays out after a quick little break. Do not go anywhere.
What the hell is a carburetor? That's a genuine question. I do not know what it does. All I know is if I attach pipes to it, stick it in a car, that car goes vroom vroom. I work at Mr. V's garage. We don't exactly work the fastest. It's not slow service. I guess you could call it medium speed service. Do we fix every car every time? No. Are we reliable? Not particularly. Are we cheap? Also, not really, compared to local competitors. Feels like I've been working here for years. decades, maybe. When did we start, actually? 2021? That's only 3 years ago. Wow, that's depressing. Anyway, my boss told me that if I don't make more money around here, he's gonna fire me. So I took the company mascot and printed it on these 100% cotton t-shirts. You can buy them now at MrVSgarage.com. Channel members and Patreons get 10% off. That's MrVSgarage.com. Now, back to whatever you were watching.
And we are back. That was a crazy quarterfinals. I said, I love the tri-bend. It's just such an excellent mixture of simplicity and brutal carnage. Up next, we are racing at Pine Hills. As I said, more normal raceway. It's a dirt raceway. So once again, a lot of opportunity to smack into rocks and random trees and bullshit like that. And we're also in the Killer Bee, which is a little sort of front-wheel drive hatchback. You've seen a couple of people run it already. A very silly car at times. Some of our runners are probably going to be used to driving it. Some of them maybe have never driven it before. They're all using the loaner Killer Bee. So they're all equal on pace, but it's not exactly the easiest car to get maximum lap time out of. So this may come down to people who are just a little bit more experienced in this game, basically. Anyone knows what beach that commercial was shot? It's on Madeira Drive in Brighton. Very cool place. It's nice. It's like pretty flat. Good beach. It's a great place for, like, you know, cycling or like roller skating or something. It's just like dead flat for like 2 kilometers. I've never driven this track. Well, you are in for a treat. The semi-finals, once again, 12 minutes on the clock. That will be ticking up to 15 for the finals. But exactly the same as the quarters. This time we have 15 runners. Once again, we'll be eliminating 5 at the end of this. So we only take our top 10 into the finals. But drivers have 12 minutes of track time to prove themselves. Equal cars again. So it's a test of driver skill once more. It looks like everybody's pretty much ready. So we're going to head into the lobby and get this thing going. Actually, a couple of predictions, guys. I saw some people saying Maddie, dark horse this competition. I think anyone who has like just the focus for that come from behind to be bottom on points and just, you know, head down, put a decent final race in, score some solid points. We do love to see it. We've got someone random just join the server somehow.
Do a barrel roll.
Who is going to get immediately kicked. There we go. Seriously, the barrel... For fuck's sake. I was going to disable it, but you know. I'll let you have your fun. Wait. Sprinkles, you're in the race. Don't make me barrel roll and I'm trying to commentate on a race that you're in. Jesus. Alright. Wait, did someone add a bot? Shabby, did you add a bot? Fuck's sake. Alright. It looks like everyone's ready. Oswald will choke it again. Let us see. I'm delaying my inevitable doom. Yeah, you'd be fine. You'd be fine. Any major things I missed? Other than the bishing, bashing, and boshing. No, it's mostly just been bishing, bashing, and boshing, I will say. There's been a lot of it, though, today. We've had a lot of loaner car races, a lot of, like, spec races, and so it's been interesting. It's been an interesting one. Let's jump on in here. Everyone is ready, so we're going to jump into the server, start this thing off. As the timer starts to sit down, many people in the custom Killer Bee livery. Let's go in free cam again. This is going to be a bullshit race. We already have Cube hitting the inside corner. That is not just one barrel roll. That is many. Again, we've got some people up front. Sock's got a front row start there. Pete has rolled this thing. This is a light car, and it is quite tall for its size. It is easy to roll as the Puffin finds out. Again, you've got to be so careful up the inside of some of these corners. If you hit a rock or a lump, you are going flying, because this is a fast car for its speed. And so it carries a lot of energy into corners, and it will just flip if you hit anything wrong. Oswald, bit of a Killer Bee specialist maybe. We've seen him run it before, I want to say, and has taken an early lead here. Let's get the leaderboard up. Socks in P2, Alex Norris in P3. We've got Eki P4, Unit Jab P5, Stonks and the Cobra. Some of our people at the back, we've got Maddie crashed out there. Is currently fighting for P13 with Jonas, and Potako is P15. So these are our back three of the race. No one's like a full lap down yet. We're doing 3 laps of this because it is a relatively long track, all things considered in Wreckfest. Potako gets spun again, and Maddie gets flipped again, down into P15. Obviously, we get multiple run-throughs of this. It's looking like it's about a minute a lap, I want to say. So it could be about a 3-minute race. So we're going to get a similar number of races to last time. Maddie came from behind on points before. Let's see if she can do it again. Oswald, this time, was obviously sort of dicking around a bit in the quarterfinals. This time, has decided to go for like an early points lead. And, you know, if you get a good run through lap 1 and you get through there clean, it is good to really cement some points on the board, just to give yourself a bit of safety, you know, and that seems to be what Oswald is doing here. Socks and Alex, they've been battling a lot today, and that continues here in the semi-finals. So they're side by side, coming through turn 2 here on the final lap of the first race. This is a battle for P2. 5 points on the line, 5-point difference between these two positions. And Unit Jab out of P4 spins it. Devastating for Unit Jab. Has been very consistent up until this point. Drops from P4 down to P7 now. And actually might even lose that to Pete does. P8, that means. You've got to be so careful. As I said, a track like this, there are rocks and trees and shit, which are more than happy to ruin your day if you let them. You've got to be careful. Oswald getting some nice lines, just glancing these curves, but not taking them too heavily as he crosses the line, which means the clock stops on 9 minutes 4, just under 3 minutes then. And so we might actually get 4 more runnings if we get similar pace in the next ones. The Cobra wide on the final corner, loses a couple places just before the line. That's not great for their points. Cube is going to get P8. Pete ahead of Jonas for P9 and 10. Jonas with a nice recovery. Was down in P14 at one point. Sprinkles, Puffin, Potako, Co, and Maddie gets P15. Maddie, one of the audience favorites. We've seen some people calling her a dark horse. Let's see if that comes true again. You know, if you wanted to do a come from behind victory, first you got to be behind. Maddie's certainly doing that. And so yeah, Oswald takes an early points lead ahead of Alex Norris, who does get P2 there. Socks P3, Mr. Eki P4. Wow, I just need to take a breather. It is tough to cast these kind of races back to back. My lungs, Jesus. Yeah, just under 3 minutes for Oswald's total race time. It means we might get 4 more runnings of that. It depends if some of the next races are slower. And if you're in the lead, you might intentionally slow things down to kind of burn some of the time off the clock. Just to, you know, make sure that you get through into the next round. Let's see how it goes. But yeah. There's already people on the in-game chat discussing whether they'll go slowly. Unit Jab, rattled by the boring allegations, decided to hit a rock to be more exciting. Take a water break. I don't need it. I've got my beloved Monster Ultra. That was the last of it, but I will be good. I will be good. My lungs have seen worse. I'm used to using my throat for extreme situations. Don't ask what that means. Anyway, it looks like everybody's ready. Let's get back in here for the second race of the semi-finals. Currently our bottom 5, Maddie, Co, Potako, Puffin, and Sprinkles. We've got a couple more runnings for all of that to change. Now let's see, who's not ready? Potako not ready. Trying to delay the inevitable, maybe. Or maybe just choosing a new livery. We will never know. And we're away. Maddie on pole position. We'll go in the cockpit, see if she can hold on to it. We start with quite a tight corner, so there can be some chaos behind. Not really much behind to see. If some people died, we're not going to know. Stonks has dropped down to P15s. There might have been an issue there. Unit Jab also P15. Might have had a front flip like they did last time. Let's go in the spherical cam. Probably a bit better for see what's going on. We've got Co P2. That's P4 getting a bit sideways there. Fighting with the Sprinkles for third place. A lot of runners pretty clean in the mid-pack. And it looks like Socks has had an issue as well. Maybe should have been in free cam, actually. Cockpit cam's maybe better later on. Socks must have had an issue. Dropped her down to the back of the grid. P15 currently, but is close to a couple cars in front. And is looking for an inside move as Potaka gets spun. Socks gets the P14. Unit Jab P13. Socks goes wide. Still looking for an in. Got to be careful on the curbs. Carrying good speed there for this long straight. Very important. Unit Jab probably a little bit quicker. So we're coming to turn 1. They're all going through a very similar speed, actually. Alex Norris up ahead has been bunted to the outside walls. Stonks thoroughly misjudging turn 2 there. Also kisses the... Well, not kisses. Face plants it. Quite an aggressive kiss, if it was one. So what do we have up front? We've got Maddie, technically was still in P1, but has actually just lost it. Down into P4 now. As Oswald gets P1 again, showing that he is the Killer Bee specialist. Co and PTXD desperately want to get P2, both of them, but Maddie's not being counted out just yet. Back up into P3, good speed through there. Little bit sideways to the outside, allows Pete through once more. Maddie takes the inside, Pete takes avoiding action, Cube takes them both to get P3 momentarily, but Pete's up the inside again. Maddie up the inside again, gets on 2 wheels, but uses Pete as a bit of a stopper. Keeps herself upright. That's going to be the thing if you want to take a risky move in a corner. Make sure you've got a car there to catch you. Maddie is going to hold P5 for now, but definitely has some pace to challenge these drivers up ahead. And once again, gets up into P4 and wants to take Pete again, the same order we were this time a lap ago. And actually, Cube and Maddie, is this some kind of rivalry? Because that looked personal, and that is going to drop Maddie down way to the back. What could have been a P4 for Maddie is actually going to turn into maybe a P11. Oswald crosses the line until the timer stops. Cube gets P8 after that. Sox P9. Cobra P10 ahead of Maddie, who does get P11. That is brutal. Brutal scenes for Maddie. I don't know who instigated that. It didn't really pay off for either of them. So it means Oswald gets another win. Ahead of Co, ahead of PTXD, the Atlantic Puffin, some solid points. Mr. Eki, Jonas, Alex Norris, and Cube. At the back, we have Potako P15, again, not vibing with Pine Hills or the Killer Bee. One of those two is not going well for Potako. And Maddie had a really good opportunity to score some solid points there and just got devastated before the final turn. Who was that? Oh, time's still going. I thought I hit the thing, but apparently not. Oh, God. Okay, what's the time meant to be on? I think we should have just over 6 minutes, I want to say. I didn't see the final time. Let's just assume it was the same as before. And so we have about 6:16. How's that sound? I hit the button, it just didn't do it. We got this. So, yeah. A bottom 5 currently. Potako, Maddie. Almost 604. We can do 604. Maddie, who almost got a big haul of points, but crashed just before the final corner. The Sprinkles is down there. Unit Jab has been consistent, but is running in the danger zone. And Stonks is the last of our bottom 5 currently. But the Cobra is only safe. Cobra is P10. But only by a point. And so 2 more runnings of this. Things can definitely still change. We'll get back into this. We'll start that timer once more. We're going to go in free cam. So this first corner seems to be causing a lot of crashes. You see there's that big mound of sand up the inside? No one hits it this time. They're all together in a huge pack. Definitely some people sideways in there. I think the Puffin was a bit sideways. And Sprinkles from P1 outside the barrier. Not where you want to be. Has to climb back on. And that is going to be slow for Sprinkles down in P15 now. Maddie's P14 getting jostled, but doesn't get crashed out as much as the Sprinkles. Who's in the lead? Potako. No. So Unit Jab's in the lead of this one, ahead of Jonas. Oswald and Potako fighting for P3, ahead of Stonks, Socks and Alex Norris and Co. Again, these guys are always together. Why is it always you two right next to each other? And they're actually got a bit of a run on the cars ahead. Alex going to go around the outside of Stonks in the final corner. Doesn't quite work out. Bit of a body slam there, which is going to let Cube up into P7. Cube, very tight line. You have to be careful going tight on turn 1 there, because that mound on the inside will kill you. And this is actually the fight for the lead. Oswald is in the lead again. Oswald clearly has not come to play here at Pine Hills. This is business for Oswald, who is keen clearly on just winning every single race in the semis. Fair play if you can. And is in P1 once more on the second lap here. Unit Jab P2, which Unit Jab definitely needs. Currently running about P16 in overall points. So needs these points here. Runs wide. Jonas P3. Sox is up into P4 now. Has actually dropped Alex after Alex had that body slam into the wall a lap ago. But Sox almost does the same, taking as much width as possible. Doesn't actually carry that much speed though, because they were a bit sideways, scrubbing quite a lot of it. It's all about keeping this car clean. Feels nice to drift them, but... No, Sox! Sox! Trying to take a lot of speed up the inside, but just unbalanced the Killer Bee. And is now down in P9, which lets Maddie up into P8. Maddie, who almost had a P4 last race, got crashed at the final corner, is going for redemption. This is the slow path there, the slow climb up into the top 10. It starts with maybe a P8 and a couple points, hoping on a crash up ahead. Let's follow Maddie, actually. One of the big storylines here. Managed to claw her way out of the bottom 5 in the quarters. And Jonas is out to the outside, which means Maddie's in P7. Goes wide, though. Only one more corner that they have to be clean through. Sox has the run. Sox up the inside. Maddie, they're both... No! Sox in the wall. Jonas comes through and hits her. Maddie on her roof. 2 cars go through. P10 for Maddie. P13 for Maddie. P14. And it's going to be P15, all things said and done. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I stopped the timer a bit late, actually. So I am going to add a couple more seconds We're going to make it 3 minutes exactly, which means we might have one more running, or we might have two. It depends how fast our winner takes this next race. Maddie, from P7 to P15. After the final corner. It's not fun. Not a fun place to be at. Oh. Gee, sorry, I just have to recover from that one. Oh, my days. Some of the other storylines, yeah, every time I see Sox and Alex Norris competing in PvP, they are somehow always together, almost up to the point one starts to think they fancy each other. We're not going to go that far, but I think basically they're probably quite equally matched drivers. And so they just end up side by side on the road. And actually they have very similar points, I want to say. They're close on points. Alex Norris is actually P2. Sox is like one row behind on the grid. But the grid is so close together that you can bunch up quite quickly. Oh my god, Maddie robbed? Wasn't robbed, brought that problem myself. Well, we see some humility from Maddie here, but I was so ready to see a bit of a Maddie redemption. And no, in the final corner, I think you're being a bit too humble, Maddie. You had every right to be there. This is a full contact sport. This is not like other motorsports. You are more than welcome to just send it through a corner and put another car into the wall. And yeah, I think it was Potaco coming through, put the hit on, and just cemented that P15. Brutal. That race was Maddie's 80-21. Well, we've got at least one more, and depending on how fast the winner takes this one, we might have two. We're going to start the countdown for the next running of the semi-finals. Oh, I'm glad I caught that one in literally 4K. That was wild. Oh my god. Oh my fucking lungs. Okay, let's head back in. Race about to start. Oh my god. We'll start this timer. As they cross the line, let's go in free cam once more. See what happens at the final, at the first corner even. A lot of contact to the back. Jonas getting flipped over not one but two barriers on the outside of turn one, taking an early P15. Maddie, who started on pole, is just, stayed out of trouble. And why I say that, gets a head-on collision with Stonks, who was somehow turned around on turn 3. And that's going to see Maddie in P14. Well, P13 as Mr. Eki is also crashed out. Maddie, who has some good speed on a good day, is just a magnet for crashes here at Pine Hills. Seems to be involved in every single major pileup. And sadly, that can be the difference in Bish Bash Bosh. Even if you can take the corners quickly, if you're going to hit a car on the exit, then it doesn't really make any difference, does it? Up at the front, we have someone other than Oswald leading this race. Cube currently in the lead ahead of Alex Norris. Oswald having a slightly tougher time getting through from the back of the pack, but is certainly trying it. P4 currently with a Cobra up the inside. Seeing how fast he can finish this race. If the leader wins this one in under 3 minutes, we will get another run. Let's see. Oswald climbing. Now on the back of Co. As we come up the hill here, Alex Norris has taken P1 on the road. Oswald gets a beautiful, beautiful hairpin to take turn 3. Co with a bit of a switchback. Does get it back. But they now have similar speed coming through these follow-throughs. At the top of the hill, Oswald with the inside line is definitely where you want to be for that one. And the inside line for the final corner. Because there is a wall on the outside. I wouldn't want to be Co in that situation. Once again, they are side by side over the line. Starting the final lap. Co just kind of gets on the brakes early to let Oswald through with the switchback. This is good racing. Oswald goes for the switchback now. And they're side by side again. Oswald slightly ahead. And actually now Oswald has a good run. The front two fighting, slowing each other down. And so Oswald is right on the back of them. Might get another win yet. Has the run on Alex. Can he get the speed up the hill? And he can actually. He's going to be going into this hairpin almost alongside, and now ahead. Takes the speed to the outside. Alex wants to get it again. He takes the inside for the follow-throughs on the high section. Cube is looking pretty set for a P1 finish here. But the speed through the final corner might cement it. Cube hangs on and is going to get to the line with 6 seconds left on the timer. Alex Norris P2, Oswald P3, Ko P4. Sox gets a P5 after that crash last time. We're going to have Maddie gets a P10, a couple more points. And Jonas P12, Cobra P13, Stonks with that massive crash at the start, can't recover, gets P14, and Sprinkles P15. And I stopped the timer. I don't know why I didn't stop. We had 6 seconds left. So we are going to have another running here. There definitely were 6 seconds. So we are going to have one more running of Pine Hills. Let's look then who our bottom 5 are going into this final installment. It's going to be the Sprinkles now technically is in last place on 36 points. Maddie in P14, Stonks P13, Cobra P12, and Potako P11 are our drivers at risk. Currently, P10 is Jonas on 53 points. So some buffer, but a small one to people like Potako and the Cobra. A solid finish from really any of these bottom 5 could put them in the final. Let us see. Let us see. The Sprinkles will be starting on P1 with Maddie alongside. I would say that's not necessarily where you want to be here at Pine Hills. Quite tight first corners. This is going to be interesting. We're actually just going to roll it real quick. People are trying to change their setups maybe. Cube has gone into a Star Beast. We can't be having that, so change that one back, Cube. Come on. We're not on the finals yet. There we go. It looks like everyone's pretty much ready. They are. And so we head in. Final race of the semis. The clock starts ticking. Doesn't really make any difference. This will definitely be the last one. Let's see. Maddie around the outside of turn 1. Sprinkles gets turned. Many people get turned, which lets Maddie through clean. That might be what she needed, because Maddie does have good speed over a single lap here. But as I said, just a magnet for the carnage that happens, particularly on lap 1. You've got people like Stonks, exactly the same. Deja vu. And actually the Sprinkles has quit. I think the Sprinkles maybe got spun at the start of this one. That might be a bit of a rage quit. I'm not entirely sure. They were complaining about getting spun out last race. But Maddie still in P1 with Unit Jab, Sox, and Mr. Eki behind. Jonas in P5 currently. Oswald, been so solid through Pine Hills, I think has seen that they're basically mathematically safe, and so it's probably just trying to spin people out, I would imagine. That's the kind of thing Oswald does. Where is he? Way back there. Yep. He's trying to cause problems, I think, so that's gonna... We'll see him again in a second. Let's follow along with Maddie. This could be a hell of a storyline. If Maddie can convert this and somehow get enough points to climb back into the finals, this is going to be crazy storylines. And this is the way to do it. P1 with the gap behind, very reminiscent of the end of the quarters. Also all about being clean when it's needed. And it is essential now to finish this one well. Halfway through this race, it's halfway through lap 2, but Oswald is definitely scumming it. Hang around on the final corner. Avoids Maddie, doesn't try and put a hit on Maddie. Lets Sox through as well. I feel like Oswald might have a particular target in mind. Let's see who he's going for. It's Mr. Eki. Mr. Eki is the chosen one on turn 1. Doesn't get spun too bad. Definitely slowed. But yeah, we've got other drivers getting called out by name on the in-game chat. Because Potako is down at P13. Seems to be as a result of something Alex Norris has done. Let's see if these rivalries continue. Maddie now, still in P1, but has Socks so close to the back, and actually has Socks up the inside. Socks gets P1 at the hairpin. It's going to have the inside run here at the top of the hill. That's probably where you want to be, but Maddie swaps over. Maddie takes the inside line, and it's a repeat of 2 races ago. That time it ended badly for both of them. Let's see how it ends here. Will they be clean? Socks hits the wall, but Maddie doesn't, and Maddie gets the stage win. Socks gets a P3 overall. Unit Jab gets through. Co P4, Mr. Eki P5. Oswald didn't slow him down too much. We have people like Alex P7, Puffin P8, Q P9, Beat P10, Jonas P11. Stonks is going to be P12 back there. And Potako P13. Oswald somewhere is DNF'd. I don't know where his flaming carcass resides. It's crashed out somewhere. Who knows? And actually, Stonks tried to do something at the line and gave P13 to Potako, which may even do something with the overall point standings. Let's see. But Maddie, though, once again doing everything she can. Is it enough? We have had a player drop out, so there might only be 14 in the server now. If I could ask everyone just to stick around. Currently, our bottom 4 are Stonks, Potako, the Cobra, and Jonas. And if my eyes do not deceive me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maddie makes it through with a win in the final race. Maddie scrapes enough points to get P10 and a playoff berth. That is cinema. The storylines are ludicrous. Oh my days. I actually can't believe, it's cool to see. It's cool to see a comeback like that, but I didn't think it was possible to score enough points to get there. And yet Maddie's done it again at the very last. The very last. It is unbelievable. The Sprinkles does get eliminated, was in the bottom 5 and did quit mid-race. I think after being spun at the very first corner. Which means we're also going to say goodbye to Stonks, goodbye to Potako, as we are getting our thing changed. Goodbye to Jonas and goodbye to the Cobra. Which leaves our top 10 of Oswald. As I'm just going to reset the points. Apparently not. We've got another bot in here. Let's just get rid of that. Our final 10 then for the finals. Puffin, Cube, Alex Norris, Socks, Unit Jab, Oswald, Eki, Co, Maddie, and Pete XT. These are our 10 runners battling it out for glory here in Bish Bash Bosh number 4. One of these 10 will be crowned a Bish Bash Bosh champion. That is a permanent title in the Discord. It's priority entry to all future events, and it's a piece of merch courtesy of MrV'sGarage.com, which you too can use to pick up wonderful pieces of racing-inspired merchandise at very reasonable prices. Link down below if you want to check it out. Thoroughly recommend. We will be underway for the finals in just a minute, but of course, you need to hear some more about MrV'sGarage.com, so do not go anywhere. We will be back with our final 10 after these short messages. And we are back. What a semi-finals. And I have to say, we also give equal credence to all our races. What a storyline. Maddie, to go from bottom of the points table to have a recovery drive at the end of a playoff round twice in the quarters and the semis, to recover in both with just enough points to get through and join us here in our top 10 in the finals. Wild scenes. Some other ones, we do see some rivalries forming between some of the drivers. Some of our drivers are very clean in the way they go about their racing. Some of the other ones enjoy a bit more of a up-close and personal approach. Let's put it that way. And so I've had some incidents, you know, a little bit of contact with their fellow racers. So might be making some lasting impressions in the other drivers, which might come back to haunt them here in the finals. Let's see. I hear Oswald's flatmate's been practicing the Heimlich maneuver in preparation for his appearance in the final. Oswald obviously had a pretty dominant run in the semis there. Clearly a big fan of the Killer Bee and going well on Pine Hills. We are on Pine Hills again for the finals, but it's a little bit different. It's the short track version this time, and we are in Star Beast. So Loner Star Beast, it's a faster car, big American muscle car. Same for everyone, same speed, but they can change their setups a little bit. And so, will that change things? Is Oswald a Pine Hills expert, or is he merely a Killer Bee expert? We shall see. Mr. V, can you fly in real life? By, like, flapping my wings real hard? It's been a while since I tried. What, you want me to, like, jump off the balcony and see? I'll do it, but I'm going to name you specifically if anything goes wrong. 100% finals record for socks. That's pretty good going. That is pretty good going indeed. Oz is the master of the choke. The semi was the high before the full. Well, let's see. Let's see. We have 10 races here, all lined up in the server, all in a Star Beast, all with their points reset to 0. Someone has given Shabby a 1 point. Let's just correct that one. Can't be having Shabby with any kind of gratification. What? Oh, that only adds people's points. I see how it is. There we go. Back down to the bottom of the list with you, Shabby. So, 10 drivers, all in the Star Beast, all ready to go. Pine Hills Raceway short circuit, 4 laps per running. The timer this time is going to be set to 15 minutes for the finals, so a bit more track time for the best of the best to prove themselves and why they should be the next Bish Bash Bosh champion. Let's start this thing and see. So, a familiar track, but slightly different in the short track version. Let's go in free cam, get an idea of where our drivers are going, and this is a much bigger car. Cube and Maddie get a front row start here, Socks behind, P up the inside, and we start with a hairpin, which is causing chaos, and Maddie once again, a fan of first track carnage, is dropped down into P10. Up in the lead though, we have Co taking an early P1, ahead of Unit Jab, ahead of Alex Norris. And Pete with the send makes the hit on Co, and actually pretty much makes it stick. Alex Norris gets a better run around the outside. And it's going to be an outside for this corner, which maybe not the best place to be. Tires flung everywhere from multiple different stacks. But actually, the pack is all pretty close. Maddie is currently in P10, but it's not that far back as we get to the hairpin for the start of lap 2. Maddie up the inside, which is definitely a much better place to be. Eki getting a bit screwed there, getting fully spun around, having to do a reset, which drops Oswald into P10. Is this the Oswald choke we were all promised? It's only race 1. We've got 15 minutes on the clock, so we're going to have quite a few runnings of this. Co with big air, and also quite a big lead out front now. After a lot of crashes on lap 1 and Pete hitting the wall again, slowing himself down. Yeah, Co looking pretty solid in the lead of this one. Sox P3, Cube and Alex Norris battling for P4 as we get to the hairpin. It all stays relatively clean. Sox not enjoying that hairpin. Right to the outside. His unit jab is sent down the hill behind the barrier, but you can go through that one as it's just wood, as jab does. With Maddie around the outside, takes that P8 away for the long run up the hill with better speed. Got to be careful here, though. It's another tight corner, and the inside line definitely where you want to be. Maddie on the outside, not going to get very traction there. Not going to be helping. As Co crosses the line to start the final lap. Pete P2. These two look pretty clean in their respective positions, unless they have a, you know, like a solo fuck-up. They should be fine. Alex Norris is also in P3 with no one else that near. Mr. Eki up the inside of the hairpin. Oswald, who had a good recovery, was in P, maybe even 4 then. Gets bumped down to P5 and is in quite a pack with Sox and Unit Jab. Unit Jab! Scattering tires everywhere. That took me hours this morning to set those up. Unit Jab, you bastard. I'm going to have to pick these all up again before the next running. That's dropped him down to P10. As Eki, and actually Co has finished. Let's stop the timer. Stop the timer. Co has finished. Pete P2, Alex Norris P3, Mr. Eki gets the P4, Sox P5, Puffin P6, Oswald will get a P7, up from the P10 where he was earlier, Maddie P9, Jab P10 by the end of it. Jab went off a couple times there. So, first running done. That took us just over 2.5 minutes. We're going to have quite a number of these. And as before, it's reverse grid. And so Jab is going to be starting at the front this next one. I don't know if that's necessarily where you want to be. You have to be very careful with that first hairpin, how you play it. Let's see how things go. It's obviously stock cars. Drivers can change their setup, but it looks like no one's going to do that currently. So we're going to go straight into the next one. Following alongside Unit Jab, we are going to jump to the free cam again. We're going to go right to this hairpin. See how things go. Maddie kind of on the outside. Oswald definitely on the inside. And Alex Norris just lets them all fight for it. And undercuts the lot of them. Takes a stomping P1. Like 10 car lengths easily ahead of Co. Alex with a masterclass of the first hairpin. That is how you start a race here at Pine Hill Short. Got fighting once again, top of the hill. Sox in the tires at the outside, fighting with the Puffin. Letting Maddie and Pete through. Maddie not enjoying lap 1s here. Just not having a good time of it at all. Is down in P10 again. She's been able to recover and scrape her way into other rounds, but the only thing that matters now is the win. And scraping through isn't going to cut it to actually win this thing. You need to be scoring solid points consistently. Alex Norris and Co both looking like they want to do that. P1 and P2, but actually quite close together. Alex was definitely further ahead this time a lap ago. Co might be catching up. So we're going to go on board with Co, actually, if we can pick him out the list. See if he's got a run on Alex. See if he's going to challenge for P1. Definitely, whoever can do the hairpin better makes a massive difference. Co wider, but it means you get a worse run on the grass. And actually has given a bit of time to Alex. Let him get a bit further ahead. But this next corner at the top of the hill is a massive opportunity to gain some time or potentially lose it. Co getting a bit squirmy. Catching the bumps on the road. It's not exactly smooth here. It's not exactly like F1 tarmac, is it? This is just some random bullshit in the middle of the countryside. And so getting squirmy on the loose suspension of this thing didn't get a great entry in. So it's a bit further behind as we enter the final lap. But if Co can get squirmy one lap, maybe Alex does the next lap. Co takes the hairpin much better this time. It's looking slightly closer again. It's going to need something special if he wants to get a P1 here. But you never know. There's a huge gap down to P3 behind, which is currently occupied by Cube with Maddie in P4. And those are the kind of points she needs if she wants to contend. And Alex gets through the uphill hairpin well and is probably therefore going to take P1 here. in race 2 of the finals, and does take it. Ko gets a very convincing second place, and behind them, Cube P3, Maddie P4, but with Mr. Eki very close behind, doesn't manage to do anything though. Pete P6, Puffin P7, Oswald, chat talked of a choke. And I mean, you know, P8 is not exactly the dominant performance you saw in the semis, is it? So don't want to be too biased in the commentary, but from an objective perspective, one could call this a choke. Mr. V, will you ever be biased on who should win a Bish Bash Bosh? No, I will never be biased, but I'm here for the storylines. And I have to say, Maddie has one of the strongest storylines so far, is currently running P6 in overall point standings, 32 points behind Ko, who's our overall leader. Ko and Alex Norris are our early favourites for a Bish Bash Bosh championship here. But Pete is up there, Cube as well. You never know. If Ko and Alex Norris have kind of bad first laps, if they get crushed out and see themselves right at the back of the pack, everything could change. Socks in the chat saying that he always gets shattered in the finals. It's tough. It is tough. I will say, this is like one of those tracks where it's better to be at the back of the grid. We're not going to change things now because the rules are the rules. But yeah, front of the pack going into that hairpin is a tough place to be. We saw how Alex played it last time. It just hung around for everyone else to get caught up in it. Let's see if that same kind of thing happens again. Well, let's see if some of the drivers from the front try and kind of slow things down and get through cleanly. More people going to the outside. Alex is right up the inside and getting caught in there. Pete saw how Alex Norris did it. Did the exact same thing. It takes an early P1. Ko is up there. Oswald, much stronger start this time. Pete through the tyres, and that's a solid wall. And that's P8 for Pete, with Jab and Maddie in P10 again. Ko is in P1 again. Yeah, Oswald had a couple shaky races, but is in P2. Looking keen to show that this is not a choke, merely a slow start. Does hit the wall on the outside of the final corner. Gets kind of screwed on the run up the main straight, but takes the inside for the hairpin. Pushes Mr. Eki to the outside, takes P2 back again, does Oswald. Alex holds on to P3 with the puffin and socks P5. So Ko has a strong lead here, and with such a heavy points lead, is really cementing a championship run here in Bish Bash Bosh 4. And actually, Alex Norris again gets thrown to P2. Our top two in the point standings are 1 and 2 on the road again. Oswald wants to be in there, but Alex and Ko just have this track car combo on lock. Sucks up the inside the hairpin. A little bit of a tap on Oswald, but doesn't slow him down too much. Maddie and Jab at the back fighting away. Ultimately are just slowing each other down. And so that's our flight for P9 currently. Those two are getting friendly, let's say. Ko is still in the lead. Not by all that much, I will say. We'll see. And actually, Unit Jab and Cube has been dropped down to P10. I think Cube must have been spun up by someone else. And spins Maddie. And that is a firm P10 for Maddie. Brutal, brutal scenes. Yeah, back at the front. Ko has got a solid lead. And once again, it's about a 10 car length lead as we're on the final lap here. I think this track just lends itself to... It's not that easy to make up places once the lead gets to this much. If you're a few car lengths back, you can make a send up at the hairpin. But if you get caught in the pack on the first lap and you allow someone to gain such a lead, there's not really much you can do. And so Ko crosses the line as the timer stops on 7:03. Oswald P3, Sox P4, Pete P5, Eki P6, and actually Puffin was, I think, in P5 or 6. Got spun at the very final corner. Is going to take the line backwards. A bit of showboating ahead of Maddie in P10 again. And so our top two in the point standings are our top two again in race 3. And that means that Ko is now on 100 points, the first person to do so. Oswald climbing up slightly, but is only just over half the points of Ko. I think if anyone other than Ko or Alex wants a chance of winning this, they are going to need to make sure those two do not end in the top 2. Let's see how these things start to go. Couple people looking at their car setups, trying to adjust, trying to make it slightly easier to drive here. See how it goes. Socks type in something out. If you're on the outside of turn 1, you get screwed. Well, to be honest, if you're just anywhere on turn 1 near another car, you're going to get screwed. You do want to hang back on turn 1, but that is easier said than done, because obviously if you're on the front row and you try and hang back, someone is going to rear end you. So turn 1's a tough one, and actually it kind of benefits the reverse grid. It benefits these drivers starting at the back of the pack, which is what the reverse grid is here to stop, but on some tracks it works in their favour. And yeah, rules are rules, and the randomizer's giving us this for the final, so that's how it is. Let's see once more. Ko, Alex Norris, they're getting involved though, I will say. Oswald pushing Alex to the wall, spinning around a load of people, and who is that? Alex up on his side is getting dropped down to P10 as we exit the hairpin. Cube gets through quite nicely. Mr. Eki alongside. Oswald and Puffin fighting for P3. Maddie and Sox fighting for P5. All of them close by as we go through the mid straight up the hill to this sort of hairpin up at the top. And Eki's up the inside. Cube gets a good run around the outside though. And that's actually in P1 coming into the final corner, but the whole pack so close together. And Alex Norris hits the barrier coming down the hill and drops down to P10. Mr. Eki and Ko is also at the back of the pack. Maybe it's a commentator's curse. Maybe, and I didn't even start the timer. We'll take, oh god. We'll just roll with it. We'll just roll with it. We'll take 30 seconds off at the end. How about that? What are the laps? 44? We'll take 44 seconds off at the end. So yeah, Unit Jab is actually now up in P1. Ahead of Pete and Sox, who has just gone through up the inside of the hairpin. Oswald is now getting some consistent performances in. Tussling for P3. P2 even, with a big send up the final corner. Everyone getting aggressive there, which lets Alex Norris through again. Now into P4. Sox goes way up the inside of the hairpin, as does Pete, as does basically everyone. The hairpin is not the place to be if there's a car anywhere near you. And all of this is cementing a Jab win. Unless something catastrophic happens for Jab, this is a clear win for them. But let's see how it goes for P2 here. Maddie was in P2 temporarily. Alex goes through up the inside. Oswald in P4 now ahead of Puffin. Let's see. Maddie has the inside of the final corner. Could have spun Alex there. Was maybe a bit too nice about it. I would have thoroughly kept that pinned and killed us both. Which means Alex can go through the hairpin cleanly. Maddie going a bit wide, which allows Oswald up the inside. Maddie now in P4. What have we got here? Ko trying to make some places with the lunge on Sox. Actually does make it stick as Puffin goes wide and lets them both through. Puffin is actually in P10. So no one having a major disaster. And Jab, what's happened there? I think Jab must have crashed themselves out. Because Oswald now, Alex Norris with the run around the outside. Jab is having none of it. Pushes him wide with a squeeze. And so does take the win here. But Alex Norris still with a P2 ahead of Oswald, ahead of Maddie P4, Pete P5, Mr. Eki P6, Q P7. Ko, our points leader, takes a P8 there. And so I'm pretty confident will not be our points leader anymore. Sox P9 and Puffin P10. Jab crashed. I didn't even see it. So yeah. I said we'll take 45 seconds off. Apparently that my pause button doesn't seem to want to pause much. I'm going to put us on 4 minutes 15. I think is good. I think that's pretty fair overall. 2 more races left. Yeah, it's going to be about that. So yeah. 2 races left. And now our overall points leader goes to Alex Norris. Ko is still P2. 6 points behind. And all of this is allowing Pete to kind of stay in contention. sort of 38 points behind Alex, and so needs a big point swing to get right back in there. But you never know. You never know what a crash might do. Oswald is in P4, is getting closer, because at one point was 50 points behind the lead, is now only 40 points behind the lead. So getting closer, and Jab again got a decent points haul. At the bottom of the pack is going to see Puffin, Socks, Maddie, Cube. I don't think these guys have a particular chance of winning now, because even a P10 still nets you 12 points, and so I think mathematical contention kind of cuts off about Veit Eki. We shall see how it goes, but really our names to watch are Alex Norris and Co. This is going to be our penultimate race. So we start with Puffin at the front. We come up to that dreaded hairpin once more. Puffin up the inside. Socks in the mid-pack. Maddie trying to dive to the inside, but there's drivers even further inside of her. Co and Pete and Alex are all at the back, but they're going for the tactic of just trying to stay clean. As Oswald gets turned sideways, manages to recover somewhat, and Maddie once again gets dropped to P10 on the first lap. Maddie just does not like lap one, basically. If we could have a rolling star, I think that would benefit her a lot more, because she can make up places after that, as she's doing here in P7. Just gets so screwed on the first lap every time. I will say probably a bit too nice, as this is contact racing. It's maybe giving people too much space and allowing moves up the inside. Hard to say exactly. Jab is in the lead of this one again, ahead of Socks, ahead of Puffin. Co, who is currently P2 in points, one of our main contenders to take this overall title, gets a move for P3. Can they make it stick from Puffin and Pete? Pete, who's currently third in the overall points, would really love to finish this one ahead of Co. Is up the inside of Puffin, but it's going to get slowed down because of it. Gets a good run, actually. And it's kind of close enough that he can make a huge send on Co. Will he? Yes, definitely. And does take P3 because of it. Well played by Pete. Pete really has to outscore the top two. At least finish in front of them, if not by a decent margin. And it seems that Oswald has given up on any chance of winning this thing and has become a landmine, basically. Who is in Oswald's sights? Jab goes through. Socks goes through. Does Co go through? Co does go through. Oswald has a name in mind, I think. It might be at the hairpin, and it's Alex. Alex getting taken out. Down into P8, that means, as Cube goes through, and actually means Alex is P9 with a cutback as P8 once more. Oswald clearly had a specific name in mind there. That name rhymed with Balix Loris. Okay, Jab is still in P1 as we're on the final lap here with Co P2, which is really what Co needs to get back as the overall points leader. The clock stops, it does. Socks takes P3, Puffin P4, Mr. Eki P5, Alex Norris gets P6 in the end. Ahead of Pete, Cube, and Oswald actually DNFs, but still takes up 12 points for the P10. We need to see once more what that does for points. I don't think that's helped Pete out, who was P3 overall, and so going to be a bit further away. And Oswald was our P4, I think, also further away. And so actually Unit Jab is our P3 now. Is behind the leader by 34. And it's 35 for a win, 12 for last. So technically, what? 23-point swing. And so the only two drivers in mathematical contention are Co and Alex Norris. They're separated by 8 coming into the end of this, which means if Alex wants to win, has to finish ahead of Co. You know, a P1 for Alex and a P3 for Co. We'll see Alex win. Or P2 for Alex and I think P5 and back for Co, that kind of thing. If Co finishes ahead, Co is our champion. If Alex finishes multiple places ahead of Co, Alex will take the lead here. We are going to have one final race on Pine Hill Short to decide it between these 2. Everyone else is out of mathematical contention. Much like Oswald, will they decide to be a nuisance? Will they have specific names in mind? As before, we don't allow teams here. And if specific people have rivalries, yes, but if we see a whole pack going for one driver, the stewards may have to step in that case. Let's see how it goes. Our top 2 battling it out for the win. The last race of the finals. Bish Bash Bosh 3 is underway. The clock starts ticking, but it's not going to mean much. Let's see how it goes. Oswald and Co together at the back here. Co is going for the inside line tactic. Working relatively well. Alex Norris getting spent to the outside. He needs to finish much higher up than there if he wants to take this thing, because currently Co is going to win it in P5. But Alex and Oswald making friends at the back here. That looks like a fight that is going to continue, and it certainly is. Alex having a very hard time getting past Oswald. Will get past now. Oswald's going to hang around for the next lap. We'll see how that one goes. Let's cut to the front, where Kara is currently in P4. It seems is a bit more friendly with all these other riders around them, other racers. As they go up the outside coming out of the hairpin, it actually takes P2 ahead of Cube and Puffin, and only has Mr. Eki in their way. And so if no one else here has a vendetta against Co, this is a huge lead. So we see Alex there at the bottom of the hill. A huge lead for Alex to overcome. But is Oswald going to change his tune and start aiming for the other front runner? No. I think we know who Oswald is going for, and it's definitely not Co. So we get to the hairpin, and actually though, Oswald, there's no discrimination here, swings both ways. Both front runners are at risk from the hit from Oswald as Co gets blasted to the outside of the hairpin. Is still ahead of Alex. Co now in P6, Alex P8, but they are much closer together. You know, only one corner apart, and Co is in the middle of all of this hustle. If Co gets spun round and hits the barrier there, spun to the outside of the final corner, which means cars up the inside. If Co gets caught up in any more carnage, that could let Alex through. The hairpin is crucial. Gets through there clean. Puffin, I think that was, maybe Cube, just it probably was Oswald, to be honest. Let's be real here. Absolutely sent it. Oswald, we don't allow backwards driving, mate. Get yourself turned around. Thank you very much. What do we have up ahead? Co P4. Alex Norris still P6. Co comes through the hairpin at the top of the hill. Still ahead. That's one of the last real opportunities for carnage. And so Co is alongside Socks. Socks trying to block, coming through the final corner, but it's not really going to do much. Takes the P3 with Co P4, but Co ahead of Alex Norris at the line means that our champion for Bish Bash Bosh number 4 is going to be Co 7519. It is sublime to say it. You heard it here first. Our newest Bish Bash Bosh champion. It is Co. Oh my god. Oh my god. We saw Oswald dishing out fairly there. Some huge hits on both of them. But ultimately, it hurt Alex more getting slowed down early on. And so Alex could not overcome the points lead of Co. That is why scoring points early is so important here. And so yeah, Co, our winner for Bish Bash Bosh. Alex, such a fight. Such a good run to keep him honest till the very end. So such a good showing there. Unit Jab and P3. Mr. Eki, one of our new runners, unless we've had a name change, takes P4 overall. Pete P5, Socks P6. Oswald, despite all of that, does take P7 overall. Q P8, Maddie P9, despite some good showings and some amazing saves to get through all the playoff rounds, does end P9 overall. And the Atlantic Puffin will be P10. I'm going to head back to the desk. I have to say, guys, I'm not going to do interviews today. I'm absolutely exhausted, and also I need to go. It's 7 p.m. We have to go put more stuff into a storage locker. I have a lot to do. The PC is actually getting packed up immediately now. There is not going to be a video this week. The earliest video might be next weekend. There's going to be no streams for at least a week or two because I am on the move. The PC is going in a box. My whole desk's getting packed away now. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to call that one there. But massive congratulations to our winner, Co. Co, you're going to be getting a message on Discord. There is a piece of merchandise of your name on it from the Mr. V's Garage store. Let me know if you want that and what item you would like. Thank you to all of our racers for taking part. Sorry there's no interviews. We can still have a driver of the day vote. Let's do that over in the Discord because we will still name a driver of the day, which comes with a Discord role. Cube driver of the day. Let us see. My vote is Maddie. I'm throwing my hat into the ring. Going to be unbiased for once. Maddie driver of the day for me. 2 playoff comebacks is mental. That was a mental one. Bish Bash Bosh 4, one of the all-time classics. Thank you to all of our riders for joining me and putting on such a show. It has been mega. I'm going to have to end that one there. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you to Mr. V's Garage for sponsoring the stream. I'm Mr. V, and I will see you